Click go live. We are now live.
Oh, we are now live. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I thought all that time we were on live. I'm going, why am I refreshing over here?
That's how nervous you are, man. Just it's okay.
See how nervous I am? Sorry, guys, you missed all that intro.
It's all good. It's all good. We're live.
Oh my goodness, apologies. I'm not going to do that whole intro again. Anyway, guys, if you missed it, I actually put all the chats up on there and introduced everyone, but I'm going to do it. I guess I'll do it again. I've got the wonderful Wonder Woman, Crypto Professor Girl, Big Beauty, and Irene in the house. So crazy. I forgot to hit go live. Yeah. And lucky I'm going to blame you because you're like co-host on here. You should have done it. Okay. Well, here we are, Alaktrician, guys. You know what? I'm gonna do this because
I was gonna say maybe you should take a shot now to settle your nerves.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to. Alaktrician,
make my nerves worse. Yeah.
My goodness, how crazy is that? First time ever. So there we go. All right, now I'm feeling flustered.
I'd love to hear from them, man. Yeah.
It's because you were nervous.
Yeah, and again, I don't know why. I guess we're so used to having the boys on here, and it's like just hanging out in the bar with the boys, you know. So
we're just hanging out with the girls tonight, like ain't nothing.
Yeah, here we
we're
are.
all in the same thing.
Yeah, same thing. I'm just sweating a little bit, but yeah, it's good.
Oh, that's crazy. All right. Well, who wants to go first? We got 4 of you wonderful ladies on here right now. And who wants to go first? Basically, I just want to know where you came from, right? How did you get into DeFi? How did you get into the crypto space? Drip, you know. So yeah, who wants to go first? CPG?
Sure, I can.
Awesome.
So with me, I have shared my story before, but I would be glad to repeat it again for all the new listeners, people maybe who don't know me. So I have gotten into crypto into the end of 2017. So that's actually was the time when BTC and all alts were actually at all-time high. It's like November, December of 2017. So first, I was just kind of exploring the space and accumulating. And I've kind of been a hodler since then. So, I just basically would buy here and there and just hold. And in 2021, like in the beginning, so like from 2017 to like early 2021, I just like held coins and didn't really do anything with them. And I held some on the exchanges, on centralized exchanges, and some I held in the wallets. So around January, February of 2021, I learned that some people are actually doing something with those coins. So they're not just like holding them in hopes of selling them for long-term or short-term gain. But I subscribed to a newsletter that actually talked about staking. It was actually kind of like somewhat mainstream crypto newsletter. And it started talking that, some people are actually like staking their Ether and they're staking their band and they're staking their graph. So I kind of started exploring this, like, so what is this like staking? So, and then I decided that I'm going to be not just holding coins, but I will be using some of the staking services. So I kind of, tried doing this. And then I just kind of started reading more about this. Like, okay, so what is this? And, I learned about decentralized finance and I started learning. And I stumbled upon Drip, I think in like August of 2021. And I decided, well, this seems like a really cool project. Let me try it out. And so this is, I think, where was my tipping point, where I really kind of dove in, because I read a lot. And first I just invested one BNB and I thought, okay, let's see how it goes. But then I was kind of really convinced by the mechanics of the project. So I think still I'm even though I think I know way more about DeFi right now, I still think that it's probably my largest holder among all the altcoins. Probably 70% or maybe 80% of all my crypto investments in dream burned in the faucet. Yeah, so that's how I came to this. I'm glad. I really didn't. I'm not coming from any kind of financial background, but at that point in my life, I was very interested in investing, and I played with the stock market. I tried to sell options and did some short-term trading, and I don't think I was like really successful in that. And so I started looking for other avenues, and that's how I think that I saw potential in crypto, and I also love technology, and so that aspect also attracted me, and I was like, okay, I really need to try this out. So
awesome. Yeah, great journey. Just a sec, I'm just trying to catch up on my other things here, but great story. And it's beautiful to hear where everyone comes from. So Irene.
Sure. Yeah, I also got into crypto in 2017, although it was at the beginning of that year. So I was a little bit luckier, sort of. But I got in because a friend convinced me to put up a lot of money to do some Bitcoin mining offshore.
Mm-hmm.
And it was lifetime miners, but obviously the bear market came in a year later and all our miners got shut down. So that was a great sort of experience of crypto. But I've been involved in technology for many couple of decades, and my brother and I started a software business from the basement of my parents' house. So
wow.
That was like 15 years ago. So I've always been interested in technology, emerging tech, and analyzing how it's going to impact on our lives. The invention of the mouse, the invention of the internet, all these sort of things, all these emerging techs, big or small, how they have such a massive impact on our lives. So I kept investing in crypto, even though I lost my miners. That was a bit of a punch in the throat. I kept accumulating. I stayed engaged during that bear market, and it was a really boring bear market because we didn't have DeFi. There weren't NFTs. There was nothing going on. All you could do was accumulate and hold and wait for the bull market. My partner found out about Drip. We got involved in around April 2021. I was really excited by the ability to do something instead of just hodl, like Crypto Professor Girl said. In 2020, I actually started working with that same brother. He started a crypto consulting business. So I've been actually working in crypto since 2020. Very, very education focused, not just how to create a wallet and buy Bitcoin, but teaching people about the current traditional financial sector and how it's geared against us, and how you can climb out of that using this emerging financial sector, including DeFi. So I work there as a coach and also as an educator. And yeah, it's fantastic to be able to work in a space that I love and I'm passionate about, and being able to help people, especially no coiners, get in the game, because this emerging financial sector is going to disrupt and displace the traditional one. And if you're not involved in some way, shape, or form, I think you're going to pretty much be left behind. So now my job is to scout DeFi projects and other opportunities and curate them for our community, because being educated is one thing. You want to be able to put that education into practice, but we try and make it so that they can do that in a more safe and secure way. A lot of education on how not to get hacked, what to look for with scam projects, and we have a whole channel dedicated to warnings. So we warned about the FTX crash 3 days before it happened, based on some stuff that we saw, and our community pulled their funds out. So we have a whole channel dedicated to, oh my God, you might want to pay attention to what's happening over here because we think something's going on. So it's
fantastic.
super rewarding, and I'm really excited to be in crypto and blockchain.
Just hearing all of that, that's amazing. I think you'd actually fit really well with the other thing that we're involved in as well, which is FTR movement. And again, excuse the French, but fuck the rug movement, which basically is a community and a movement that stands up against rug pulls. And it's about education as well. More than anything, it's about education and showing people the right ways and teaching the people, like when they're coming into the space, these are things to look out for. So similar to what you're doing there, but it's basically it's creating a whole movement. Because people are getting sick of being rug pulled and losing money and stuff like that. So hats off to you. I think that's amazing.
And it's a matter of understanding why,
Lucky.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it's a matter of understanding why they would be labeled as rug pulls, looking deeper into it, not just price and just, like gambling risk, if you want to call it, but it's really digging deeper into, what the mechanics are, the tokenomics, the people behind it. I mean, I'm kind of repeating what we said before, but it's all of you would be great to contribute. It's all about contributing. The people who have the experience and knowledge, sharing that knowledge to, again, no coiners, is trying to get pure adoption into the space. Yeah, it's beautiful what I'm hearing right now. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
This is my listening show. I'm gonna listen.
B or Wonder Woman, who wants to go next?
Yeah. Go ahead, Big Beauty. I'll let you go. You're in that same row.
All right. So it's been about 2 years since I've been in DeFi myself. I kind of started, my channel started out as a silver channel. So that's kind of how I got started. And then I got introduced to crypto from there. So I started being a long-term holder and trying to invest in coins, and I was brand new to crypto and I didn't know what I was doing at all, and I ended up losing money and whatnot doing that. And then into further research, I found these scam projects, these scam miners, and I fell in love with the concept. It's there's got to be some legit projects out there. And then shortly after that, I found my way to baked beans, and I was successful in that. I got in that early. So at my highest point, I was making $800 a day.
Wow.
And then I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, okay, I want to keep compounding because this is great. I think it's going to keep going up because I think people are going to be really excited about this. And again, I'm completely new to DeFi, didn't know what I was doing. And of course, shortly after that, people started selling, and then there was no more. And then since I was compounding, I lost my money. So, you live and you learn. And then, eventually I found my way to drip, and I bought in when it was at $100, and I DCA'd my way, and it's been worth it. So I'm almost at 10,000 in my faucet now. So that's awesome. Wow. I'm halfway to a max wallet. And so it's been an incredible journey. So it's amazing just to be able to be here and share it with all you wonderful people, because we got a lot of amazing ladies. We got a lot of gifted people in the community, and we have a lot of people that really do a lot for our community. And it's just so awesome just watching it in action and just, getting a glimpse of drip, drop, draw. You guys are going to love it. This is going to be awesome.
Beautiful. 800 a day. That's Penny Club. I know you're out there. Penny Club, 800 a day, 864 a day. So that's awesome. And in such a short period of time. Fantastic. Wonder Woman.
Hey. It's very nice
to be on. Welcome again.
Thank you. I'm very I haven't really heard any of your guys' stories, so this is very interesting to me. This will be the first time I've been on one of these shows, so please everybody bear with me. If you hear my son in the background, I apologize.
That's okay.
So a little bit about my story is I started I worked for a finance and technology company for almost about 20 years. So I was very aware of how processing, banking, all that works. Worked in fraud, worked in risk management, worked in project management, all kinds of stuff. But I could never level up no matter what I did there. And so what I was doing, I went to a conference through my company, and there were these two brothers from Coinbase there, and they were talking about crypto, and I had heard of Bitcoin like everybody else, but I didn't really know much about it. But one of the things that the guy said stuck with me, and he said, there's not that many Black people in crypto. And I was like, that stuck with me for like a couple of weeks after the conference. And I was like, if not me, who? I've been in finance for 20 years. What's next in money? Crypto. Let me find out what this is all about. So I kind of felt like I did crypto the backwards way, because after that, I signed up for the school program that he went to and started getting in 2020. So this was in November 2020. So January 2021, I was going to school by that time for my master's degree in blockchain technology and digital currencies. And I just jumped right in. Like I knew what I was doing. No, I failed my first class and cried, signed up again for the next semester because I didn't know what I was doing. It was a lot. It's a lot of technical stuff. I didn't know. I'm not very technical at all. And so it was a lot. But my 2021 was my learning year. And so, but one thing I learned really quickly at school was they don't teach trading. So it was basically, I had to go out there and figure it all out on my own. They taught how what is Bitcoin? How does it work? How does global markets work? All this other cool stuff, macro economic stuff. But they didn't really teach, how do you set up your wallet? Like, how do you, all the little basic stuff. So I had to figure that out on my own. And when I was doing that, I just started setting up for every exchange just so I had experience with all of them, and then started buying random coins I liked and heard about in school. Like Crypto Professor Girl, I just had a portfolio of random tokens, and I was just holding them. Like, what do I do? I knew not to put them on too many exchanges, but I had a little bit on Celsius, so I didn't have that many on there. But I took that. Somebody at school was even telling me about that. But so after I did that, I went to school for like that whole year. About November of 2021 is when I got into Drip, and it was an in-person meeting. Somebody else in town had heard about somebody else who knew about crypto, brought me together with this other person, and we had a group of friends all get into Drip at the same time. So it was kind of cool. About a group of 20 of us. We would meet every week and go over stuff, and I would talk about crypto, what I knew, and the other dude would talk about Drip, and we just kind of like mangled it all together to get everybody signed up. You know how that process was of 2 weeks of waiting for your money to hit your bank and all this other extra. And so I got into Drip, but I didn't know anything about YouTube or Telegram or any of that. So I was just compounding, living my life. Around January is when I got into Telegram, about maybe December, January. And then that's when I got scammed. So all the stuff I knew, I still got scammed in Telegram because you're brand new. I didn't know anything about Telegram or how to use it, or that I thought Brandon Drip Guide was really Brandon Drip Guide helping me, right? Like I didn't know that was a fake dude. So I got scammed. I cried, okay, because that was a lot of money I lost, let's just say. And then I started a new account and a new MetaMask the next day because I was like, I'm not going to give up. You're not going to get me out. I'm going to start a new wallet. I started again with 2 Drip in January, right when it was about to hit that 190, whatever. It was right before that. So I started with 2 Drip again. And now today I have over 50,000 Drip. So let's let you know that you can do it. You can start it over. You can, know what I mean?
That's awesome.
You can go fall to the bottom and not know what you're doing and get back up again and keep it going. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's a little bit of my story. And now I'm still here hydrating every day and hitting these piggy banks, for the next 3 years.
It's certainly such a it can certainly be a steep learning curve. Even myself, I haven't come from finance. I haven't come from anything like that. Yes, I mean, I've come from big business, but mainly in the lines of sales and marketing, web development, web design. Like web SEO today used to be called web positioning, and way back in the day when the internet first started, and I was a pioneer in that. But then I took a break away from it, and I've done so many other things. Been working for myself, doing everything from selling alarm systems through to fixing motorbikes. So it's been quite diverse. Semi-retired when I was 29, and then just kind of played around with things. I'm turning 52 next month, and have had these ups and downs. Crypto, I was introduced to crypto way back when Bitcoin was about $17. Okay. And but I didn't jump on the wagon.
Not fair. That's not fair.
You didn't buy any though, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I was told about it, but I didn't actually go and do it. back then I just bought this house, just got married and just didn't have that extra cash around. And back then, all I knew is that you had to buy like a whole Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Whatever coin you were going to get, you had to buy a whole one. I didn't know that you could buy portions of, right? So it was that, no, I won't do it. Now, the person that tried to introduce me to it bought 2,500 Bitcoin at $17. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how many he still has today, but he bought 2,500 at $17. So it's pretty insane, right? Where it's gone from there to where it is now. So yeah, I introduced to it back then, dabbled with it over the years, and then back in 2020, Crypto Lucky messages me, calls me up, and he says, "Bro, we got to get into DeFi." And at that time, it was a pandemic, right? It was a pandemic. We were struggling, like we were really struggling. Luckily for me, I already own my properties. I don't pay rent or anything like that, right? So, but at that time, my phone was almost dead. My laptop was dead. It was a little thing. And I said, bro, I don't even have a phone. I don't even have a laptop. How am I going to do this, right? And then we finished the call, and I stopped and I thought about it. I went and spoke with the wife. I said, you know what? We've got to do this. We've got to do this. Obviously going through the pandemic, struggling. We had no income. I had to shut down my other businesses. And so we scraped together $40. December 19, 2020. And I got into DeFi. And from that $40, I'm now retired. So it's been crazy. Luckily for me, I haven't lost a lot, but in actual fact, I haven't lost anything because I've been able to make it anyway. And everything that every other investment I've made is from money that I've generated, revenue that I've got from my other investments anyway. So it's been really good in that way. So,
and that's what you've just said is a perfect example of DeFi versus TradFi. DeFi, you get a phone, you get $4, $1, $40, and you can like build yourself into a place where you have financial freedom. Nowhere in traditional finance would you be able to have just a phone and a few bucks and be able to make it. So that, and aside from Bitcoin drip price, anyone who knows me go off in the chats knows I'm not about short-term price action. It's all about the blockchain and what DeFi is going to do to take a whole bunch of trapped people who can't make it, can't seem to move forward, and give them an opportunity, put us all on the same player base. Like most of us have mobile phones and a buck to our name, right?
Absolutely.
So it is about that playing field, and it gives a whole new subset of people a chance to get financial freedom.
Absolutely. And the thing is, it can come when you least expect it. And you really need to take a step back and analyze your current situation. I mean, I look at it this way. I've been away from home. Yes, I'm from Australia, but I'm currently living in the Philippines. And I've been over here for quite a lot of years. And I looked at it and went, my superannuation is going to be nothing.
Correct.
Okay. I'm turning 52. What am I going to do about retirement? How am I going to support myself and my family when that time comes? Okay. I'm not going to have any superannuation. And that goes for everybody in Australia or anywhere in the world right now. Even if you're starting off, let's say you're 20 years old and you're putting money into superannuation or these retirement funds, that the government retirement funds, so you'll end up getting a pension. I mean, reality is by the time that you retire, that pension's not going to be enough to cover you. Okay. Getting into this space allows you to generate that income to be able to retire in a lot shorter period of time, instead of working every single day for the rest of your life. And then at the end of it, you go, I still don't have enough. And I've been busting my gut for all of these years and I'm not enjoying what I'm earning anyway. Right? Because I don't have the time to enjoy it anymore. Yeah. So when I stopped and looked at that, I said, look, whatever it takes, I said to the wife, we have to do this. And so, we took that step, leap of faith, and here we are.
And it is work. Let's not get this. Somebody said to me, but what about the future generation? They'll never have to work in a day in their life. And I'm like, dude, I do crypto. I work in crypto. It's work. Even if it's not your job, you are researching, you are learning, you're trying to wrap your brain around the most complicated, innovative, never seen before concepts, right? You are working. You might not be plowing the fields, right? But you are putting in decent effort and you are working. It's a different type of work, and it's the type of work where you get properly remunerated if you do it right.
Yeah. I agree.
Totally.
I noticed that it's like almost having like a second job. So I feel like
And a third and a fourth.
It's like a part-time job, just like CPG.
Yeah. I mean, it takes literally hours, right? If you you go through all your protocols. I know like a lot of people interact with their protocols daily, right? And for example, you might be in Drip, you might be in other protocols, so you have multiple wallets, you interact with all your protocols daily. You go to Telegram, and then you read what's going on, you look at the strategies, you try to see what maybe other content creators are doing. So there's just so many, and then you look at the macros. You really have to do a lot, like as Irene said. Like it could be actually somebody's full-time job, just being in crypto and just full. And because the space is so rapidly developing, also like you kind of have to be on your toes, and you can't just like get into protocol and like how some people in traditional finance, they might buy a stock and they'll just kind of park it there and not think about it for a long time, or maybe mutual fund or whatever they're buying. But you can't do that in this space. Like you have to be active. Like it's almost like you're an active investor. Like your job is to be an active investor. So
for yourself, that's true. CPG, you have to take control of your money. That's all crypto is you taking control of your money and you being the investor for it. You figuring it out. You making that money, because if you're willing to do it, then you will be rewarded with those gains, right? Because that's why we're all here. So
absolutely,
right.
If you educate yourself with the things that you're in, you're no longer going to be asking, "Oh, what's happening to the price?" Right?
Yep. Exactly.
The only reason you ask, "Oh, what's happening to the price?" Yeah.
The roller coaster. You're like, we're down on the roller coaster. We're going to be going up soon, and I ain't worried about it. But yeah, I think when you get in crypto in the beginning, for me, a lot of people, I think, is really emotional. It's so emotional. I'm like, oh, it's going up, it's going down, going all around. Somebody else got rug pulled today. It's 4 more projects lost. Oh my God. Was I in any of them? Let me remember. Yeah. So sorry.
I remember the first time I got rugged, I was like so devastated. I cried. I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels terrible. How did I not make this happen anymore? I want to make some money.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's all happened to us. We've all been rug pulled. If you're in DeFi, if you ain't been rug pulled, who are you? Like you're
not in crypto if you haven't been hacked or rug pulled.
Or lost money. Yeah. Right. You should say that.
Or lost money in a miner that you didn't realize you're supposed to be like taking some out as you go. Miners in the toilet. But also it's like, there's a good chance everyone on this call is going to get rugged or hacked or scammed again. By touch wood. Here's some wood, some real wood.
Right.
But it's part of that whole thing of managing your expectations and understanding that we are in an emerging tech field here. This is the wild, wild west. We are like all running around like shooting guns, holding on to our hats and hiding behind saloon doors, right? If it was easy, there'd be not as much money to make, right? So it's a difficult space, and I think we got to normalize the emotions of getting rugged, because people often feel ashamed, embarrassed, upset, and yeah, okay, but people shouldn't be ashamed about it. I've seen seasoned crypto investors get scammed. Like I had one last week, and I was like, what were you thinking? And he's like, well, I wasn't, and I didn't realize. And so it happens to the best of us. And one of the things we teach about in a bull market, because your mindset for a bear market and your mindset for a bull market have to be completely different. Everyone thinks the bull market is exciting and it's where you make the money and it's fantastic. No, it's crazy. Shit's flying everywhere. And if you don't have your brain straight and your strategy set, you will get rugged, you will get scammed, you will get hacked. So you have to have this whole different mindset during a bull market where adrenaline's flowing, you're feeling so amazing, you're making thousands of dollars a day, but you're not handling it right. Or, you know, so whether you're in a bear market and having to deal with the emotions associated with that, and let's face it, some people in our space have never been through a bear market, and it shows because they're expecting to get rich in a bear market, where bear markets are traditionally for accumulating so that you can take advantage of the bull market. And this bear market, you know, Crypto Professor Girl will be able to tell you this as well. This bear market that we're going through at the moment, that we're just coming out of the end of, has been the most exciting bear market I've ever seen in my life. Like, the last one was completely dead, right? So anyone going through this bear market is actually lucky, because you do have a chance of making a few bucks, but it's not about that. A bear market is about accumulation, and that people need to change their mindset about that.
Agreed.
I feel like most people have to go through that bear market, though. Like, you have to go through it in order to know, because, you know, it's a year to 2 years of bear market. It's not like 2 months. You know what I mean? Yeah. People have to. Some people have to go through it personally to not just hear about it or whatever, but you got to be in it. You know, so that helps. But I think we're all going to make it this next bull run. I'm excited. Let's go.
Super excited. Use this time to educate yourselves more. You know, use this time, take a sample.
Chill in the bear.
Yeah.
Put your stuff somewhere safe and chill. If you can do that, then you're good. And stack and chill, that's, you know.
Yeah.
And then get ready for the crazy bull.
Yeah.
There's going to be scams all up and lined up and down, ready to take your money.
Yeah. Make sure your documentation is on point, because once we hit that bull, you're going to want to know where all your tokens are, what your strategy for each one is, what your exit is, or whether you're going to hodl. Because I've seen people go into bulls and be like, oh, this token's gone up 10,000%. I don't know where it is. I don't know what wallet I put it in. I don't know what chain it's on. I don't know what the token address is. So make sure that your documentation's on point and you know where all your assets are.
Yeah, that's a really good point, right? Like, when you have, I don't know, 20, 30 wallets, and sometimes you forget like how many chains you added to each wallet, and you have
which projects where, and then which one's still there. Right, exactly.
I'm one of those classic stories,
because you're like, I put this in.
No, go ahead.
Be ready. Yeah.
I was saying I'm one of those classic stories of, you know, I got exposed to crypto, or Bitcoin specifically, around 2010, 2011. So I've been in the tech space as well. I think Irene and I are twins. But basically, I've always been in tech and exposed to Bitcoin 2010, 2011. One of those guys in his little condo in the Philippines trying to attach my Bitcoin address to different faucets and getting Bitcoin every day if I were to click this and click that. So that was my first exposure to Bitcoin. And so right now there's a laptop in Canada with a bunch of Bitcoin on it. I don't even know how to access it. So I'm one of those guys, right? Yeah. And it is important. I mean, because it's such a brand new technology for many. It's the best thing since sliced bread. When people get into drip, they're like, well, what is this? But then the technical know-how to maintain and secure your funds is also another issue, right? Even knowing to take profit. Yeah, the last bull run, you got all these people. I got calls, 3 a.m. here when XRP, the news of XRP just a couple days ago, I was getting calls in the morning. I'm like, why are you calling me? I thought something was wrong, but it's just because of XRP. And I'm like, dude, but I mean, of course, in a bull market, everything you touch turns to gold. So, we've all experienced that, and people have experienced that. Now, at the same time, when everything was at its highest, I was like, dude, take some profit, man. Take it out. At least take out your investment. So even the financial education part of it, right? You got the technical, which is it's very technical, but you also got the financial education, because we are in crypto. We are our own bank now. It's different. Yes. Things shift, right? So it's that kind of mindset, which is really difficult to grasp. And just taking care of your money, because you are fully responsible, right? For your keys.
What I was going to say too. Oh, go ahead, Irene.
No, you go first.
Oh, I was just gonna say too, but I think from what birth till whenever we find crypto, we are ingrained into the centralization, right? Of put your money here and forget about it. Let us handle it, whatever. And so that's a really hard thing to get over when you get to crypto. You know what I mean? If you've been doing it your whole life, basically, right? So I feel like that's a big hump to get over for people. It's like that centralization hits you in different ways that you don't even know about. You know, you just think, hey, I'm gonna get in this crypto project and leave it. Next day, you rugged, your money's gone. You didn't even, cheers, because you thought, it was going to be there like the bank. Whoopsie. No. So that's a big hump. I feel like a lot of people forget about, that ingrained centralization stuff that people forget. Yeah.
And it is very much ingrained into us. And we do a lot of training on mindsets, on like a wealth mindset, because when you don't have a lot of money and then you come into a lot of money, there's a lot of negative and positive emotions that are tied to that. There's a lot of guilt sometimes. I don't know what to do with this money. I don't know how to manage it. So you need to do a lot of education on what do you do with when do you take gains, and then what do you do with the crypto or the stable coin or whatever you've got now. How do you store that? What do you reinvest it in? And it's everything from making sure that you're diversified over a number of wallets so that if one gets hacked, it hasn't got your whole life on it, right? It's also educating about the very basic tech stuff, because a lot of people coming into crypto aren't across tech yet. Don't use hotel Wi-Fi. Don't use airport Wi-Fi. Don't plug your charger into a charging point at the airport. You'll get hacked, and they're like, "What do you mean?" So you're having to educate people on basic finance, basic technology, basic security and safety, all the way up to like how to deal with these very complicated tokenomics and like very crypto specific stuff. So it's crazy the amount of learning that people need to do if they've not come from a finance, a tech, or some sort of like been involved in crypto for a while. But the big one for me is the wealth mindset, because we're going to have a lot of people probably next year and the year after making buttloads of money, and there's no point making money if you don't know how to manage it, because it just flies out the other door, right? And you're back to where you started. So I see that there's going to be a bit of a crisis probably next year of people not understanding how to manage their wealth properly. And there's a whole mindset around that.
Yeah.
Definitely. People going to be buying Lambos.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had actually a question for Irene. So for your crypto business that you have, do you provide some of these services?
All of it from this is how this is the history of money, because people don't understand. They go, oh my God, crypto, that's a scam. Surely that's not real money. I'm like, dude, we were using shells back in the day for money. How's it so hard to believe, right? So all the way from the history of money, way back when we were like swapping shells and bartering and doing all that sort of stuff, all the way through to staying safe online, diversifying ledgers, offline, cold, hot wallets, like everything. There's so much that you need to educate people on in an emerging tech field. So we cover it all, and then try and curate opportunities so the people who have just educated don't then go into a miner and compound until it dies, or go and put all their money into one token that they didn't look at properly, or they want to pump and dump. And that's the other thing I think about crypto is everyone thinks crypto owes them a favor. Everyone thinks crypto should make them rich, and it should happen yesterday. That's not what it's about. It's a side effect of the emerging tech of blockchain and the revolutionary nature of DeFi. There's a whole undercurrent of it's not just about making profit and getting rich, right? I get that's a thing. I want to be rich as well, don't get me wrong. But
Irene's in it for the tech is what she's saying, right?
You've got to understand the way that all of this is going to truly revolutionize our lives. Like, that's what we should all come into it for, the profit, and stay for the revolution.
Yes.
Yeah, yes,
Totally agree.
absolutely. Right. Money by the people for the people. I think that's
Yeah.
one of my favorite sayings here.
Yeah.
Wow, this is great. I just wanted to compliment Irene because I've seen her on several live streams, and I think she came to my live stream, Women in DeFi, at least once, and she has she's brought some real germs. I think she's really amazing, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we have people that, like Irene and Wonder Woman, that are actually, have education. Like, I'm really impressed, by the way, Wonder Woman, with your masters in blockchain technology. I mean, I feel like I really want one myself.
Thank you. I was going to say too that I didn't really get to say, but I'm so excited to learn more about Irene, because towards the end of all that, I started my own business teaching crypto, and I created a class at a community college here that I teach crypto 101, 102 stuff. I go out in the community and do workshops when I can to Black women and, anybody I can get to learn about crypto. And then I give them like a list of resources and my card. And I do, personalized consulting too, and really cheap. I do like $30 an hour because I want it to be very, very cheap and accessible to people who need this stuff. Women, Black people, that's who I target. Like people, because you can do crypto I started with $50. People like Danny said, he didn't know you didn't have to buy a whole token. You know what I mean? Like you can buy a bit of a coin, right? That's where it comes from, a little bit of coin. But yeah. So I'm like, I didn't know Irene did that too. So I'm excited to hear that she does that. And us women out here are kicking butt. I'm telling you.
It's really cool. There's a lot of us, look, and I hear a lot of comments around, cryptos is predominantly male, and all I see is males. And I'm like, you'd be surprised how many females there are in crypto. It's like gaming as well, right?
Yeah.
We are not all sort of identifying as women. We have men's names online. The good thing about anything online is you can be whoever you want to be, right? You can present as a female, you can present as a male, you can present as agnostic. It very much does level the playing field in some respects. But I think I was saying on Crypto Professor Girls when we did Women in DeFi, which let's do more of those because they're
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, they're really cool. I was at a crypto conference in Australia last year. It was the first one. It was called CryptoCon. It's on again this year in Melbourne in November. And I went there and I was shocked. Firstly, at the amount of people that were there. Secondly, the percentage of women who were attending and also presenting. The other thing I was shocked about was, of all the males that were there, they were all lovely, super respectful, not one dick amongst them, right? No knobheads. They were all lovely. And I'm like, being behind a screen and behind a keyboard, I guess gives some people the confidence to think that they can bully people and be dicks online. But when it was face to face, it was like being in a whole nother world, because it was like so different to being in crypto online. And it just shocked me how many females were there. Then when you start digging around, and shout out to Ladies of the Faucet and Ants Girl and Lady Mania for starting that group. There are a lot of women out there. We just don't make ourselves obvious. We like to skirt around the sidelines, doing our thing without being harassed, hopefully. And so there's a lot more females than you'll ever know that are sitting with you.
I totally agree. And I've been around many. There's a lot of action going on the Asian side. I always say that, right? And there's many conventions, conferences with crypto, and that's something I actually really didn't notice until you actually brought up right now. But there are a lot of women out there, smart women, that are actually moving and building in this space right now. That's what I love. That's what I get excited about. And there are guys that definitely are dicks when it comes to a woman being in the space, try to measure whatever. But I mean, it's amazing how many women there are that are leading the packs too, leading some technology, that are building pure tech to adopt crypto and blockchain. And so, that's very true. There's a lot more than we we don't even realize how many women are in the space. And even on chats, again, being hidden and using guys' names. I mean, that could be a strategy that may work. That's fine. Again, but it's all valid. It's all real value that's being brought to the table.
I mean, some people want to move the space forward for women, and some people just want to invest, and they don't want to have to be sticking up for people and pushing the female cause and all that. And I totally respect that. Yeah. And there's people who will stay hidden behind avatars or wigs and glasses. That's because I've got a company in real life, and I can't risk it.
Fine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Professor girl there, just like putting it all out there for anyone to like see her face and be able to connect.
Yes, we do appreciate you, CPG, for that.
Yeah, there's different levels of comfort, but I hope that we're all out there doing just little bits and pieces to help, not just females, but maybe other minorities that are struggling online. And look, it's like real life, right? We get this same shit in real life that we do online. But in real life, we don't have the option to cloak ourselves and be like, I want to legitimately make it without anyone knowing, like whether I'm male or female or whatever, right? So if you come online, you can legitimately cloak yourself and be as considered as an equal to everybody else. That's one of the beautiful things about the space. But some of us like to just identify as who we are and cop it. I mean, I know I've had death threats in private message after helping in the drip chat. Got told to get back to the kitchen, that they're going to find like where I lived and all this sort of stuff. So it's rough out for a lot of us, but we are very resilient. This is why we need females in crypto, right? Mostly we hold the purse strings. So if you want crypto to become mainstream, then you got to get the purse string holders on board, right? We have unique skills like, keeping things very organized, being very analytical about things. People call us over emotional. No. If you look in the chat for the whiners about price action, they're all males. They're all males.
Right, that's true.
Males are the emotional ones.
When have you ever seen Wonder Woman say, "Price, why is the drip 18 cents?" Never once, dude. I'm chilling. I'm packing and packing.
Yeah, never once have I had a female that's come to me and said, "What's going on with the price of drip?" Never. It's always males, and they're always overcommitted. They've
overinvested.
Overinvested. They've compensated on their mood board, so they think they're supposed to have a Ferrari by now.
Yeah. Where's my Lambo? I bought 3 drip. Bye.
Yeah,
hey, Lucky, maybe we should get off the stream.
Excluded, or they've been rugged in other projects and they can't whine there anymore because the Telegram and the Discord have been shut down. So then they come to the projects that are still alive and start ragging on them, right?
They're haters.
It's like, So we're not over emotional. We know how to manage our emotions very well. We've come from diverse backgrounds. We've been through hell and back, most of us. So we're perfectly geared to be able to deal with the bipolar nature of an emerging tech industry. And that's why you need more of us around.
Absolutely.
Actually, it seems that Irene made a case for higher rationality almost in women. The way that you describe behavior or conduct of women in DeFi versus guys in DeFi. I mean, you really made a strong case that women are more rational and more analytical than men. I'm sorry, that's just how it sounded.
And then we're the ones on the sidelines laughing at them. It's funny.
I'm turning off my camera now.
Okay. Come on back. Get you a shot. You'll be all right.
I'm only joking.
Risk, because we often do hold the household budget. So if we lose $10, maybe somebody doesn't eat next week. So we're very good. We're very good at calculating risk and understanding the ramifications of losing big chunks of money. So that tends to inform the way that we invest. So that also helps with because we don't have all our eggs in one basket. If price action is sort of floundering in one project, we're not expecting that project to make us billionaires or if we lose that $10, we're cool with that. So that's also like part of that like cautious mindset that advantages us as well.
Yeah. I don't know how you all do it. I was telling Danny before, like my wife, it's amazing how when there's rough times, which everybody goes through, it's amazing how she could stretch that dollar. Like, where are you getting this food from? But yeah, I think it's a natural thing for a woman. You know, it's a natural talent or ability where, you know, if we got no money, we're just going to be out there doing some nonsense. But I mean, the women have a better mindset, absolutely, when it comes to money.
Agree. Yep, totally agree. My wife's the same, bro. My wife's the same.
Oh, man.
I read a book a few years ago, and I actually lent it to somebody, and I never got it back. And it was a book. I can't remember who wrote it, but it was called "Why Men Don't Listen and Women Can't Read Maps." And it was a really, really interesting book. No, it was, and it goes on about like men and women are totally different. They are. I mean, you go back to the beginning of humans, if you want to call it that, right? And men were always like caveman days. All the man was supposed to do was go out and bring food home, and protect the family while he's at home. His vision is this, This is a man's view, because he has to focus on a target because he's out there. He's a hunter. He has to kill this thing and bring it home to feed the family, The woman, on the other hand, is at home. She's looking after the kids. She's cooking. She's trying to protect the home at the same time. So she's having to look at so many different things all at the same time. So physically, we've evolved that way as well. Like a woman's peripheral vision is a lot wider than a man's. Physically, right? Biologically. So we've got, as men, we've got to understand that and realize that. And yes, we'll whinge and we'll bitch about the wife is nagging or whatever. That's normal as well, because again, we only look like this, all right, whereas a woman's looking like this. But it's about finding a balance and knowing knowing the limits of each of those. The woman is not better than the man, and the man is not better than the woman. It's about trying to find that balance which works for both. But I mean, seriously, my wife's a freaking legend. She's a star. Love her to bits.
I totally agree. And I told you, there is that balance. You mentioned the word balance. It's never going to be 50-50. Never. There's going to be times where the male would be 90-10 and the woman would be 90-10. Or the woman would be 98 and the man would be 2. It will never be 50-50 as long as we're always balanced at 100. Right? I think that's what it comes down to.
Hey guys, I do have something to add here. So basically what Danny's been arguing here, he's kind of seems like he's a proponent of evolutionary psychology. You know, they are, evolutionary psychologists, they have argued that, men and women have different procreation strategies because of their biology. So, and, evolutionary psychology is able to explain a lot of differences, including personality differences in genders, because of the way that people essentially mate and procreate. So
I have to have another shot for this.
But but what you guys are forgetting here is that you have to kind of look, when people say that men and women are different, they frequently forget that there is this huge distribution. So look at the bell curve. So there is, and any trait in both of the population is going to be distributed. Like there's a huge curve of women, of specific trait, maybe risk aversion, possibly, or peripheral vision, or whatever. And there is another distribution of man. Now, they might overlap. They might overlap those distributions. And the means of the distributions might be different. So, like, on average, maybe women might have better peripheral vision than men, or men have better spatial intelligence than women, whatever, because they are hunters in the past. But you're forgetting that there are a whole bunch of women that actually have, because these are the two overlapping distributions. So there are a whole bunch of women that can actually have better spatial intelligence, and there's a whole bunch of men that would have a better peripheral vision than women. So you can't forget about this. So there are,
for sure.
So therefore, I think, making such generalizations and saying, hey, women are maybe better in this because of the evolutionary past, you kind of have to look at specific individuals. And that kind of maybe brings this question that there might be certain women in DeFi. Not all women are in DeFi, but there are certain women in DeFi that maybe have some traits that predispose them to be in the space. So these are just some things to think about.
I think
Survivor.
Totally.
I think she's right.
Talk very generally, like when someone says, you know, when I say women are more this way, I'm all obviously generalizing. There are some women who are hopeless at risk management, right? You know, we're all very different, even within our own gender groups. But you know, every day I see what women bring to the space, and especially within drip, where it's a lot of the women that are doing stuff for drip that you guys don't see, like helping with the wiki, helping with the testing, adminning the drip chat, which is a dumpster fire, right? Most days. And these women are in there, particularly Lady Mania, are in there, like, you know, dealing with all that crap because, you know, these women are mentally, they've been through a lot of shit and they're mentally tough. And when somebody, you know, does something to hurt their feelings, they're like, come at me, bro. That was nothing. Compared to
all you got.
So it's like we, you know, as generally as women, we have been through hell and back through our lives, being trodden on and misrepresented and underestimated and stuff. So I just feel like some of us really have like a lot of armor on us that help us really get through tough times and deal with like complete shitheads, whereas other people probably wouldn't be able to deal with them. So
I say that, right, Irene, we came pre-diamond handed. We're diamond handed before we even get there. We're diamond bodied, and then we have to come in. You know, we're surviving. So making it work.
This is definitely something that we talk about in blocks when we're educating people about crypto. Blockchain, doesn't matter what gender you are, doesn't matter how old you are, what religion, you know, belief systems you have in place. Everybody's on equal ground ultimately. So it's the ability. This is a technology where anybody can shine, male, female, you know, young, old, Muslim, Christian, whatever, Buddhist, or whatever you believe in. It's the same. And decentralization has done that through, you know, blockchain technology is allowed for that now. That's what excites me the most. Because and you don't know who's developing this tech. This DApp that someone creates could be, we don't know who they are. It could be
a lot of women behind all this stuff.
We don't know. Right?
And there are, because if you go to a crypto con, a lot of the presenters are female, and you know people see DeFi and blockchain and go, oh, it's the big equalizer between high net wealth and low net wealth, right? It's an equalizer giving everyone an opportunity to earn financial freedom. But it's the great equalizer on many other fronts as well. So, it's really cool. And I can see Lady Mania in the chat, and she's meant to be asleep because I'm pretty sure she's had 2 hours sleep over the last, like, 72 hours.
He called you out live, Lady Mania. Ooh.
Send her the link.
I have
a nap. And Lady Mania will join us one of these days on the stream. I'm sure of it.
Ants Girl and Lady Mania, let's go.
Yeah.
We need the full crew.
Well.
Yeah, they should join for sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Definitely. Well, we're here every week. And you know, anyone that's been on the show is always welcome to come back. Just DM me and I'll just, you know, send you a link. No problem. We can have up to I think 10 or 12 people on here at any one time. So that's awesome. And again, I'm so honored you're all here.
No, I'm honored, and this I'm just really excited about this one because there's key elements here and key words and phrases that have been brought up. Education is a big part of it, and I know that what you are all involved with is Wonder Woman. It's all about education, and I want to send out an open invitation to kind of collaborate on that as well, because we're doing the same thing on this side as well. So if there's anything we could do, let's collaborate and help just educate as many people as possible, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and a big part of that is developing a mindset, and it's a step-by-step process. And you can really choose the way you want your life to go, and you do that by developing your mindset. And so, if you have a negative mindset, you're gonna be a fudder, basically.
For sure.
But if you work on trying to manifest your goals and your dreams, you're gonna want to think positively about it, because if you think negatively about yourself and you think you can't do it, then you're not going to be able to do it because you've already put that block on yourself. So achieving financial success is the same thing. It's a process. You got to learn, and you got to really educate yourself. And it's just amazing how all this process works. And sometimes I feel like it's a deep process because there's like so many layers. You got to keep doing your research consistently with crypto. You got to keep putting your brick in. You got to know when to put your money where and when. And plus, you got to keep developing your mindset, because if you think that at one point, oh man, this is not going to turn out good, then it's not going to turn out good because you already preconceived that. And so that's what you're going to manifest. And so it's really important to educate people about these things, because if we can help them, not only financially, we can help them mentally as well. And for those of you that don't know, I'm actually in the works of becoming a certified life coach. And so this is something I'm very passionate about, and I believe wholeheartedly in helping people, especially if they've been through difficult situations. And if you feel like you're alone and you're struggling, you're not alone, and there's definitely a way out, and you just have to change your mindset. That's what growth is all about. It's just changing your mindset. And once you change your mindset, you can do a lot of different things. And there's a lot of people out there that want to take advantage of you and take advantage of women because of our emotional stuff. But we go through a lot of stuff because of that, but we overcome it. We're strong women, and that's what we do, and that's why we're so powerful here in this space. And there's not very many of us, but there's more going to be coming, and it's awesome to be a model, and we're going to be able to help educate these people and be on the forefront of this, especially here in Trip Network. And it's just so amazing. And you ladies here are incredible. CPG, Irene, Wonder Woman, you guys are absolutely amazing, and I feel awesome being on the stream with you guys. You guys are very knowledgeable, you're very talented and very passionate women, and this is very important to have in this space, and that's going to help bring us even farther. So it's very amazing, and this is an incredible journey.
Love it. Hey guys, you can hear this. You can hear that background music now. That was composed by Big Beauty. Thank you so much. Yeah, and this is called Winds of Alakazul, and I'm so honored and so blessed. Wow, it's for us. So that's playing in the background now. Thank you so much, B.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's amazing.
I wrote this on Thursday.
Oh,
wow.
Beautiful. Talented.
Thank you.
Talented. I see somebody say in the chat, self-sabotage is real. It is real. And when you fill your own bags, you're not only self-sabotaging yourself, you are self-sabotaging the project. I never understood the mentality of flooding your own bags. Can someone explain to me why you hold crypto and then you talk smack about it so that your own bags dwindle? I mean, what is that all about? The epitome of self-sabotage, and I will never understand it.
We need to have a class just for that, Irene, and send them into that chat.
If you need to talk, reach out to your upline, reach out to somebody else. If you're female in crypto, come to Ladies of the Force so we can get some support. But don't let your fear and anxiety turn into flooding your own bags. It's the worst thing you can do. And we're in a bear market, guys. Come on, accumulate for the bull. It's coming next year. We've already seen signs that we're moving into a bull phase. You can see sentiment has changed. You can see BlackRock and Fidelity have come out with asking for ETFs. You can see that they throat punched Barry by picking Coinbase as their third party auditor and pricing. If that's not a throat punch to the SEC, then I don't know what is. You can see coins pumping and dumping. As soon as Pepe came out, I knew we were heading out of the bear market. So
the season.
Just gotta hang on for a bit longer, keep accumulating, keep the chin up. Don't fudge your own bags.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agreed.
So
It's a very interesting, I was, listening to what Big Beauty was saying, how she said that you really have to have a positive mindset. Like and there are, of course, all these trainings, I think it goes back to I don't know, ancient Hindu philosophy, right? That you have to imagine yourself wealthy. You have to imagine your projects going well. You have to imagine you have yourself having a great relationship with your family and friends, and then it all becomes a reality. And I really do think that it certainly has a value, because I think it kind of taps into the optimism, and we know that optimists actually fare better on all outcomes in life. So if you're optimistic
Totally.
on, they actually, so being a pessimist, not only in crypto, but just in life, always predicting that negative outcome is going to happen for, whatever you're doing. These people actually have worse outcomes, not only in mental health, but, on many different metrics. So this is very interesting, kind of just, you guys try to tie it to kind of real life and, a broader life outside of crypto.
Thoughts become things. Thoughts become things, whether positive or negative. Thoughts become things.
Yeah, manifestations, right? So it's like, kind of think about this, like everything that we see around us, cars that self-drive, or us coming from different parts of the world and streaming to people all over the world together. That has not existed 30 years ago, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. But somebody imagined it, and that it became a reality. That person who originally had that dream, right? Started working on it, and it became a reality. Well, it's not one person, obviously, a team of people, but the idea is that, everything around us, it's manifestation of somebody's dreams and images, if you think about this, right? But I was going to look at, there was a comment here, and I don't know if you guys, so I really like this positivity that's going on. But somebody wrote here, Mighty Mofo, that self-sabotage is the same as ignoring real issues. So I don't know if this person is talking about DeFi or maybe in life in general. And I kind of thought I'll ask you guys, because I kind of thought, oh, that's interesting comment. So I don't know if anybody has maybe to add any.
I would just say, I was going to say what I was thinking of when I saw that too was some people live in the realm of denial, right? And you have to take value of what you got going on, and some people don't want to, right? Because you got to take value of what you got going on and how your situation is, basically, before you can move on or evaluate or change, right? And some people just like living in that in that Egyptian river denial.
I was going to say the same thing. Often when people are self-sabotaging, it's because they're not dealing with the underlying issues of, I've seen it when people FUD their own bags. They're not dealing with the underlying issue that they overcommitted, or they overexposed themselves, or they have other things going on in their life and they were expecting drip to make them millionaires. And a warning that I give a lot of people is, if somebody is trying to collect a base of people that are being negative, collect them all into one Telegram group, you are being exploited for your negativity. No one just gathers people who are pissed off into one group because they want to help you. They want to exploit you. They want to expose you to other projects that you might get hope in, and then take your referrals from you. Okay? So if you are being collected because you are disgruntled, wake up. There's something else going on. You are being used. We've seen it happen in history before, where people bring bunches of disgruntled people together to take advantage of them. So take a look at the Telegram groups that you're in. If you
Oh
see
my
any that are
God!
1986,
Hi, Kelly.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Irene.
Hi,
Yeah,
guys.
totally agree with you, Irene.
I totally
Hi,
agree.
Kelly.
I totally-
Hi,
Kelly, we miss you.
everyone.
How
Hi,
are
I'm
you?
so
Kelly.
sorry.
I just remembered when I got your message. Thanks for the reminder, Danny. Hi,
Oh, well,
everyone. Hi, Crypto Professor Girl. Hi, Big T.
Hi,
Hi,
Kelly.
Irene. Hi, Wonder Woman. Hi, Crypto Happy.
Hello.
Hey, Kelly.
So good to see you
We
all.
miss you. Been a long time. It's so nice to hear from you.
Yeah, Danny, I'm so happy you're alive.
yeah, I was riding off into the sunset. I had to. Like, it was one of those things. Like, we make money, we make passive income, and so we should enjoy it, right? And so I spent so much time just spending time with family, going away where we weren't able to do it through the pandemic, and
Oh,
just
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
thought I'd do that, but always in the back of my mind is like, oh wow, I've got to get back to it. The energy and the positivity
Different. man.
that I get from coming back and doing these things is just like
Yeah.
freaking amazing. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're happy to
there-
have you back.
Oh my
thank you very
goodness.
much.
Kelly is the first woman in Drip.
No, I
Kelly
wasn't
is
the
the
first.
first woman in Drip.
First power woman.
I wasn't. I was the first one. I was the first one to show my face, maybe.
Oh,
Oh
You know,
my
I'd like to add on to something that when we're talking about psychology. When I was doing forex trading since 2011, 2012. That's when I really got into actual trading, and the psychology aspect of it is the most challenging, right?
Yes.
You got to know
Yes.
how to react, how not to react, and with crypto right now, it is all about psychology. You ever been to a party, right? And you see one person says, "Oh, this was the best party in the world." You know, you have people having fun, drinking, music and stuff. But you also have another person on the other side of the house or wherever you're at saying that was the worst party in the world. You know, I saw a fight happen. People arguing, and it was just boring. I didn't like the music. It's all about perception. It's the same damn party, right? So for people who are fighting their bags or a little negative, you got to think, why are these people so hype about it then, right? Obviously, there's something there. And there's something that perhaps I'm not understanding. So let me dig deeper into this project or this party that's happening, because it's the same party, and you got both sides to it. So it's all a matter of how you perceive that what's going on. And so I think the psychology part of crypto is definitely needed, especially for all the dudes that are crying about price, right?
Yes.
The guys losing that. Right?
Yeah.
So you gotta just step it up.
Lucky, I'm with you. I think a lot of it is really like behavioral economics, right?
Yeah.
Like when the fear factor is going to kick in, like when people get, the price goes low, how a bunch of people just immediately try to sell off, accumulation, like when people accumulate, like why people accumulate.
Yep.
I mean, this is just a lot of it's really psychology. Or, we know that like in Drip, we've seen it like before, like how people sell sometimes, like after AMAs, like a bunch of people run to sell, like right before AMA, they might buy, but after AMA, they will sell, or like
they hate
how
sell.
people sell on weekends. Like all these things, you're right. It's really just deals with feelings and kind of like micro decision making that people make based on their emotions.
Yeah. I think a lot of that is what where you've come from, your education and your knowledge. So I think it's all around educating. Like, if you've been involved in a business before, if you've hired staff before, if you've built software before, like our software was built when the cloud wasn't called the cloud. So, we with that adversity, building new things that don't exist, building in an emerging tech field. If you have context like that, then you can very much sort of understand, when, for instance, when Forex has problems with his developers or something's delayed or something, like people like, oh, how can you have so many problems with staff? Well, you've clearly never run a business before, because that's the number one issue you have is finding good staff, keeping good staff, like all that sort of thing. So I think
tell me about it.
Yeah, it's also about how what your perspective is based on what you've been through, what you've seen, and what you've been intimately involved with. Because when you have that knowledge and when you have that perspective, then when somebody says, oh, I had to let this developer go after 2 days, well, that makes perfect sense to me, but it makes, apparently other people are like going nuts, going, oh, well, you mustn't be able to keep staff then if you can't keep someone for 2 days. I'm like, no, mate, that's not a smart decision to let go of someone who's not working for you. So I think that, you know, in the chats, I often I'm known for my very long messages in the chats, because I feel like I can bring a perspective of starting a business, starting a tech business, starting a business that builds software when the cloud was emerging tech for popular like SaaS products and stuff. And also I have been through one full bear market, which was really brutal. So I often like to bring all of these perspectives together and try and give people a holistic view of why they shouldn't be focusing on, like, hyper focusing on one thing, and they need to like step away from their computer and look at the bigger picture. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
What Irene was saying there, but I think also one of the things I think sometimes we forget about with crypto, which we talked about a little bit earlier, is, you know, I've seen 12-year-olds in crypto. So we don't know who is in the chat who's a 12, 13, 14, 15, 17-year-old who got their grandpa in crypto who's 80. You know what I mean? So there's just like so many different people in crypto. It's so many different levels of everything. So it's like the world, right? It's a mini-cosm of the world. We're all just everywhere, all around the world, and we all know just a little bits of everything, and we're all coming together trying to mesh it together with crypto and DeFi.
All my kids manage their own. I've got like a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, 14-year-old, and they're managing their own crypto accounts.
Nice. Look at you.
So, and Drip's a fantastic way to get kids interested in crypto. Like my girl was 8 when she got her first Drip wallet. She hydrates it herself. She taught my dad how to set up.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Now asking me to buy Chainlink and Bitcoin. Mummy, when can I buy my first bit of Bitcoin? And also I've used that opportunity to educate her about like the current financial sector. And, you know, I try to keep it a little bit light on because she's only like, you know, 9. So I'm not telling her it's all geared against her and stuff like that. But I'm trying to open her mind and educate her on what's coming, because it's going to affect her a lot when she's an adult. Also, even when kids are talking about what they want to be when they grow up, it's like I'm trying to educate her on AI and the influence of AI that AI is going to have in 10, 15 years' time, when she's going to be entering the workforce and thinking about, what do I want to be when I grow up? And can I pick something that won't be replaced by AI, but I might be able to work with AI, 100%. Right? So there's so many emerging techs plays that are coming out now that we should be educating our kids on, educating ourselves on, so that we can educate our kids on, so that they can make really good decisions for 5 to 10 years down the track.
Totally agree.
100%. Yeah, I really liked that piece about educating. I think Irene brought a really valid point on educating kids or younger generation in general. Like Wonder Woman is teaching a class in community college on blockchain technology, which I think is amazing. So yeah, educating younger generation and maybe, you know, educating them in a right manner, right? Kind of maybe also teaching them a little bit about the risk mitigation. I don't know, maybe Irene already taught her 9-year-old daughter risk mitigation.
She identified a hacker in her school that was assuming another child and emailing people these horrific things. And she looked into it and she saw this other fellow student CCing herself on the emails. And she went up to the teacher and said, these emails are flying around. I can see one person being CC'd. Because I've said to her, don't believe anything, even if it gets sent to you in writing from the person. It could be somebody else, right? So she is so very well aware about online safety and like all of that sort of stuff, and that is so important for us to be teaching our kids is how to stay safe online, how to stay safe in the real world. Like there's it's a lot of pressure on us as parents to be raising these little people that are going to exist in a decade where we don't know what the world's going to be like in 5 to 10 years time. I mean, look at everything that's happened in the last 5 years. Like it's insane. It's a lot of pressure, and I think we owe it to ourselves to educate ourselves, because we should be doing that anyway. But if we have kids, I think we need to educate ourselves so we can educate them on like what's going to be happening over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah,
I'm really inspired by Irene. I'm sorry, I was going to say I was really inspired by what you said, Irene, because I have an 8-year-old son too, and so I teach him, Bitcoin. I give him like vocabulary words, and so he knows how to, what drip is, animal farm. He knows mom's a pig farmer. Like he's like, "Where's your drip at, mom?" He gets his calculator out and does the numbers for me, because he's a math dude. He likes his numbers, so he does this every day. He cracks me up. So it just gives me inspiration that now, for Christmas, I'm gonna have to get him some kind of thing and do his own drip account to see how he does. Just set him up with a
That's awesome.
Super cute.
Look, guys, if I was from the future, I wouldn't be on this stream, mate. I'd be rich.
Right, that's true. Right.
What, Irene, you're gonna tell us what happens
in the chat. So I think that when it's a consequence, and Crypto Lucky will know, when you work in tech I've been in tech for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't look like it because I've got good genes, but whatever. You get a gut feel for what's coming and how rapidly things are going to come upon us, and how escalated it can become.
Yep. That's right. I agree. Technology, again, what we talk about in our education sessions, we say blockchain technology is ultimately going to affect our lives as internet has affected our lives, where we're using it without ultimately knowing that we're using it.
Yes.
Right? It's just a common, natural thing. Like we're communicating over the internet right now. And years ago, just 20 years ago, we wouldn't even really think about it. I mean, we started developing it, but now it's just a common thing. Our kids growing up with cell phones in their hands and iPads in their hands. They don't know any different. AI technology, of course. I saw that great saying where AI is not going to replace people. It's ultimately going to replace the people that are not using AI. So it's definitely something to educate, and they are ultimately going to learn it anyways. But I think it's up to us as parents. Financial education, they still don't teach that in the school, so it is our responsibility. And my daughter who's 17 right now, she's thinking, okay, where am I going to go, college, and what am I going to do? And at least she's known crypto. She's been in crypto since 2017, right? She got a bit of ETH, and now she's looking at charts, and Drip, of course, is a great protocol to help educate about dividends and daily income, passive income. And so I said, you choose whatever you want or are passionate about, but get your money right. That's a separate issue. Right?
Yep. Just talking about. Sorry, bro. Go. Keep going.
No.
Okay.
I'm done.
Just talking about education, I'm going to give a shameless plug by playing this. I had to do that.
Love it. The juxtaposition between the classical music and the crypto and the house, and
you like Figaro. You must be you like opera.
That's beautiful, right? That's our business, Blocks Media. We educate people, basically putting crypto out into the streets. Okay, so taking no coiners and educating them about blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, and then etc. So they're armed with knowledge before they actually take that step to get into the crypto space. So that's a thing that we do.
Hey, Danny, should we let maybe Kelly introduce herself, since I don't know if everybody knows on the stream and who's watching.
You know, Kelly's a rock star, right? In our minds, Kelly's a rock star.
I don't need to introduce myself. It's okay. I'm just here to say hi quickly and
look, Kelly, again,
as
Kelly,
always, but don't know Kelly. Like if they use their calculator, they just don't know she did it, right?
Maybe that's true.
Yeah.
You know, I actually watched I watched our first stream that we did with you, Kelly. When Lucky and I did that stream, that was awesome. That was absolutely awesome. I had to go back and watch it again, and picked up some points yet again, and it was just beautiful.
And you want to talk about women in crypto? I mean, you know, Kelly, she's writing the book pretty much. She developed the calculator for all of us who have soft brains, and I'm so confused with these. However, you know, the contribution. Right here comes a powerful woman like Kelly, just does it like that, and while everybody else is crying or getting hype about other stuff, here's Kelly actually creating something of real value that has helped literally thousands of people in the community.
And so sweet. Now, thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
We miss you,
Crypto Lucky. I'm with you. You know, like I just. You know, we talked about being positive somewhere earlier before Kelly came, and I was like, I want to express gratitude to Kelly publicly. I've done it before, and I'll do that again. And I will do it always. I will do it always. My gratitude to Kelly for her calculators. Absolutely amazing. 1.
Thank you so
2,
much.
her hydration strategies. I mean, I would be one of those boys sitting and crying in chats if it were not for Kelly's strategy, because Kelly told us these are golden days of drip. Don't just sit and accumulate like a fool. You please sell and hydrate, and sell and hydrate. Do 1-1, 5-2, or 21-7 strategy, and you will have money. Real money. And it happened. Thank you, Kelly. Like I just want to say huge thank you from everybody in DRS and myself personally, because we listen to you, and all of us, we ROI'd many times because of you. So
I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you from all of us to you.
See what you've done? You have to maybe take another shot. Alakazul.
It's not coffee, sorry.
Thank you so much.
What have you been up to, though?
Well, I'm here in Portland, and I'm with my friend Kelsey, who's also in Drip, and we are in the studio making music.
Making music, nice.
Because I got my AirPods in, but yeah, we're just doing a little bit of recording, and I just made dinner, so we're eating dinner. Sorry about that. All right, come on, camera.
So good. Well, we can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. We'll post it. I think I posted Kelsey's music in the Drip chat before, actually.
Okay.
Last time she released something.
That. Oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And for those that don't know, Kelly was co-inventor of the Mimu gloves, which Ariana Grande used on her tour for what was it, Kelly? 2 years? Something like that?
8 months. 8 months.
8 months. 8 months, and amazing. I'm planning to get a pair some stage.
Oh wow, excellent.
Yeah,
I'd like to see what you do with them.
Oh, it's crazy stuff. For the people that haven't heard about that, look it up. It's just absolutely amazing. So
yeah, when Ariana was demoing it to me, I was like amazed. I was like, wow, Ariana, this great. I haven't met Ariana. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Right there. It's great.
Well, actually, guys, I'm not going to be able to stay long because we're eating our dinner now.
That's okay, Kelly.
I definitely wanted to just pop in and say hi. Sorry, like a total diva, just like hi.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Greatly appreciate it.
It's so nice to see you all.
I'd love to have you back on again soon, Kelly, like the old days.
I'm glad you're back. Yeah, just like the old days. And all the other women that are here are the true rock stars. So you are the best of the best.
Thanks so much, Kelly. We love appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Well,
Hey guys,
have
lovely
a great
to see
dinner.
you guys.
Okay,
I'll
Kelly,
talk
much
to you
love.
Enjoy
I'll
your
speak to
dinner.
you soon.
Thank
Talk soon.
you. Bye bye.
Cheers.
Bye. Love
Wow.
it. See,
Yeah.
I love this show. I do. I'm probably biased, but
Of course.
I love
It's been
this
a good show, I'd say.
Yeah, it's full of surprises, and yeah, we talked about it earlier. Oh, is there a format that we're going to follow? Well, no, we just let it run. We let it run its course and see where we go from there. And I just think it makes it so much more interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, let's do a show soon on CBDCs because I think not enough people know what's happening with them. It's hot topic in Australia because banks are starting to stop us from onboarding our fiat, stopping withdrawals, stopping cash, that sort of thing. And I think people are completely oblivious to what a CBDC is capable of with regards to like enslavement. So that's definitely.
Well, I read recently, Irene, and obviously I'm not back home, but I'm sure you can confirm this. I read recently that's like 30% of bank branches have closed down in Australia.
Yeah,
right?
And then closing their ATMs down so you can't get cash out.
Yeah,
and they're stopping the onboarding of fiat. They're definitely gearing towards replacing our funds with CBDCs. And once you transfer to a CBDC, you're done for.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely right.
I think they just think it's like e-money, like it's just the government's version of crypto, but it has so many applications, controlling applications on it.
Big brother is watching,
including stuff like paying your
Indeed.
salary CBDCs, and if you don't spend it, so paying your salary, pre-taxing it before it gets to your account. As they do now anyway, but I mean pre-taxing it with taxes that they think you might owe them at the end of the financial year.
Yep.
Then putting expiry dates on the token so that if you don't spend them by a certain time, they can withdraw them, or putting controlling things on there where you can only spend that CBDC with certain businesses, which they will get in bed with. So it's massive.
It's scary.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is what's happening. And it's for anyone who understands the power of crypto, the good power of crypto, you will understand the evil power of crypto and be able to see some of this coming. But even I was shocked when I really started deep diving into it. So I don't think people understand this enough, and I think we need to educate more on this topic.
Absolutely.
They can easily shut you off. They can even stop you from spending, period. I mean, you hear about the social, what do you call that again?
So social credits. So,
thank you.
If
shut you off.
Just watch the Black Mirror episode about social credits, where depending on how many stars you have depends on like what you can do in society, what you can spend, and all that sort of thing. So paired with that, it'll be absolutely devastating. But even just the CBDCs in themselves, they'll just be like 80% of your salary has to be spent on food from Coles, not from any of the others. So it's the capacity for control is very high. So
And the great thing is, I think
this is very interesting. This is very interesting. The story about the CBDC. Now, I know that in the U.S., I live in the U.S., some presidential candidates came very upfront about it, and some of them said, if I get elected, I promise to you that no CBDC. I mean, these are just some promises, I guess. I know some states in the United States actually passed legislature where they said, well, no CBDC can be circulating. I think Texas recently done it. Maybe people in the chat, if anybody's from Texas.
I heard about it a little bit, CPG, but I know, Kennedy, who you're talking about, who said that, and it's like he has no chance of winning anyway, but he's just saying stuff to get the young vote, I feel like, at this point. But
that legislation can be overturned after an election. Anyone saying, I will outlaw CBDCs, and they are in government and they are running for a position, they are flat out lying.
Exactly.
When has a politician ever made good on promises made before they're elected? So you can't don't fall into the trap of believing people that say that. But also, even if legislation is passed at a state level, that legislation is very easy to rescind because it's not federal. So you can say, oh, I promise, here's the legislation, get put in power, rescind the legislation, implement a CBDC.
Yeah.
And it's clever because people are scared about it and politicians run on fear campaigns.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So it's actually clever that they're doing it, but it's a pack of lies.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess so we're like where we are right now over here in the Philippines and I know in Australia as well. Yeah, I've always used P2P to get to take my money out. I've never used like going from an exchange direct to my bank account. I've always used P2P. Oh, wow. And I've heard recently, obviously, that in the US, that's not an available thing, like on Binance, for example.
That's weird. That was weird.
It's very, very weird, person to person. I mean, really, that's what it's for. You know, I've always done it that way. And I think it's really important to actually educate people on that and look at other opportunities to be able to do that. Because again, in Australia, obviously I'm Australian. So as much as I'm not up to date with everything over there, I'm up to date a little bit, you know, and recently, like, for example, on Binance, you can no longer fund it using your bank account, using PayID or OSCO or anything like that, or taking it out that way. So again, trying to educate people on using the P2P option has been an amazing thing. And we have to go down that route. I really think, you know, that's the only way we're gonna beat the CBDC is to put the power back to the people. And, you know, whether it's P2P on the exchanges like Binance or you're creating other platforms that allow you to do that, I think that's definitely a key. You know, I was actually really surprised that you couldn't do it in the US. You know, the first time we heard that, I think we had Brandon and Shannon on the stream, and I asked the question, it's like, really? You don't have P2P? They're like, oh, what's that? Like, you know, and I just assumed everyone was using it.
And that's a weird thing because blockchain is really based on peer-to-peer. That's ultimately what one of the basic use cases of it, and that's what we teach as well is money remittance, right? Instead of going to Western Union, because that's a big part of the GDP here in the Philippines is people sending money back here. So, you know, people have to go, if they're on ships, working on ships, they have to find a Western Union around them and then send the money over. It has to settle. It's a money settlement aspect of it as well, right? Money remittance. However, you know, we teach people three seconds, which costs 3 cents to send unlimited funds over on this side, right? And now they can just go to peer-to-peer exchange and get their actual pesos, right? So, so there's a lot of good tech being developed right now. So everything that's going on with the whole SEC and all that, it's good. I believe in regulation. Again, we wrote the first law here in the Philippines to regulate crypto blockchain, which is great. Regulation is important. However, when they kind of overstep, it's like that's when the other side's going to come in. Nope, you're not going to go anywhere, right? We're going to develop even more tech. Tornado Cash, what happened with them? You know how many other people are developing similar types of tech to battle that? Because people they want to keep their privacy, right? And they're like, well, screw you. I'm not going to tell you where I got this money. You don't need to know that, right? And so you have both sides clashing, and there'll always be that clash. I think there has to be that balance ultimately. Like Spritz Finance, I mean, kudos to them. They're building some great tech for US. You know, shout out to them. So I'm
going to try to get them on the stream one of these days soon too.
Yeah, different payment rail solutions, right? Money in, money out, and until we start living off crypto, which Spritz does. I know Crypto.com. My boy in Vegas, he uses crypto. He earns from Drip. You know. Converts it to his Crypto.com card and just pays for his gas and groceries. Right? Until more technology is built to do that, and it has a lot to do with payment rails, right? And it could be his settlement of money, and you know, until we start getting paid in Ethereum or Bitcoin for our jobs, start paying our tax. I don't know how far that is for now, but
I don't think it's that far, depending on the organization that you work for. Especially if you're working in crypto, you're probably already getting paid in crypto.
You don't want to.
But it's just like we often talk about unbanking ourselves, I think the major things are salary and if you want like a mortgage, if you want a home loan. Other than that, I'm I'm pretty much unbanked except for salary from one of my jobs, and if I wanted to go and get a mortgage, I wouldn't be able to do that through crypto. But everything else is possible. And when you tell a no coiner, when they go, well, there's nothing you can do with Bitcoin anyway, and you're like, you can live off, for the most part, you can live off crypto. You load up a credit card with some crypto, or you got payment ID or whatever, you pay with crypto. It's very, if you're getting paid in crypto, it's actually really easy to live off crypto.
I live off it every day. And I remember talking to someone a few weeks back and they go, okay, but what do you spend it on? I spend it on everything.
Yeah. It's like, well, you can't pay
everything.
Money. How are you going to pay your kid pocket money? I went, get them a MetaMask wallet and transfer some crypto to them. It's not difficult. Like, everyone wants to put up blockers because they're fearful, and I don't blame them. They were fearful when the internet came in. They were fearful with Y2K. They're fearful of anything. They're fearful with AI. They're fearful with anything tech-based that they don't understand. But I say to people, oh, you've got a mobile phone. Do you know how that mobile phone works? Do you know how it uses towers? Do you know how it uses all this? Do you know the mechanics of your phone? And they're like, no.
That's a good one.
Are you scared?
Yeah, but you use it, right?
Yeah. Are you scared of your phone? No. Do you use your phone competently? Yes. Well, you don't have to know the back end to be able to use the front end properly.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree.
You know, if we ask people to explain electricity, I bet only 1 out of 10 will explain out in general population. Probably 1 out of 10 will. The other 9 probably will not. So
I was to say, one of the things I tell people is, when you have a penny, do you want to go to the factory, see how it's minted, what's inside the penny? Do you care? No, you just spend the penny. It's crypto. Yeah. You just spend the crypto. You don't need to know how it works, unless, I mean, if it's good if you do, because then, you know, that'll help you in the long run, really, if you learn a little bit about how it actually works. But you don't really need to push a button, spend it, send it to a number. So
yep, totally.
So this is awesome. You know, with the current state of DeFi and TradFi coming into the space, which I like. I mean, you know, this is what people are used to, traditional finance, and how they're starting to bridge together. I think that's a really cool space to be in. Now, talking specifically about DeFi, and we talked a lot about education, you know, for the viewers out there, I think it's really important to get around groups like this, get around these people, because 100%. That's the only way you'll be able to get that proper knowledge and experience, right? That all these people here are sharing. And you know, to get away from all the FUD, I haven't checked the main drip chat for ages. And
I went in for the first time the other day, in like first time in months.
Don't go there.
No. And unfortunately, and I always say, when people complain about price, that's only surface level. There's a lot going on in the background. Irene pointed out really good points. Developing tech is not simple. It's a very complex thing. I mean, it's technology, right? And even with all other programs out there, there may be programs that have failed, but this whole space has been experimental ever since, right? Even going back to Bitcoin, it was just theory. So a lot of theories are being developed, but that doesn't mean they're always going to be successful. Everybody's looking for the golden goose that, you know, that lays that golden egg, but it's not there yet. We don't have the Googles and Amazons and, you know, Microsofts out there in the crypto space yet. Everybody's experimenting, everybody's building. Now's the time to build in the bear market, especially in the bear market.
And still making some comments about the main chat. Look, the main chat is not that bad. It is admined very well. There's a lot of hands being tied in that chat because they can't add more admins, and they're trying to remedy that. And I think the main chat is not where you should have made a good decision about your buddy address, and you should have a good upline. If you don't have a good upline, seek out the upline groups that match your ethos or whatever. The drip main chat can get quite negative, but people don't. A lot of people go there because they don't know what they're doing. They're a bit afraid. They don't know they genuinely don't know what's going on, right? What I have a problem with is the chats where people go specifically to bitch and whine and join forces against Forex and drip. What can you not understand about, like, everyone like loves Forex, but he's just a person, right? He's an escalated like person that whose brain works beyond any of us here, but he's still a human being, and he's trying to build for DeFi, and he's trying to build for crypto in general. He's not building for price action. He's not making business decisions based on short-term price action. He's building technology in an emerging, I don't know how to say this in a way where people understand. He's building stuff that doesn't exist yet. That has never existed in the way that it's existing on an emerging technology. This is not black and white shit. It's very difficult. And if you get something wrong, especially for something like DDD, what people don't understand is DDD can do a lot for drip. It can also do a lot to damage drip if it's not done correctly. So he has the weight of all of this on his shoulders. Why would you launch if you're not 100% sure about it? And even if you are, stuff goes wrong. We're traversing these paths that have never been trodden before. And I think people who are zeroed in, how much is drip today? How much was it yesterday? How much is they're missing the point. They're missing all of this.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Absolutely.
It's sad.
That's right.
Because we're all, whether we're up or down on our investment in drip and the animal farm, we are all part of something truly innovative and special. We're early adopters. Crypto doesn't owe you shit. Drip doesn't owe you shit. We are an emerging technology. You took the risk because it's high risk, high reward. Otherwise, go put your money in the bank and get 0.0000008% interest per annum on it, and die living on a pension where you can't afford enough food to eat. Okay, they're the two options: risk it and get the biscuit, or stay in the current whatever traditional financial sector and probably not have enough money to afford food in 20 years' time.
Again, it all comes back to
write this, Irene. I think you should write up, especially the innovation part of it. I think it was very eloquently said. Because when I personally think about Forex, I do think about people like Nikola Tesla, for example. So I think you should write this up as a preface. I don't know if it's, maybe you can talk to people and maybe leave it, pin it in the main chat. That might maybe eliminate some of the unnecessary negativity or just, certain things there. It's a good, it would be a good statement to have.
That's right. In addition to that, drip was basically, it is a unique smart contract, right? Protocol that was really based on other stuff in the past. Again, we're evolving. We've been evolving. This ROI type of program is not brand new. Drip was the next one after Flow. Flow was based on Tron Chain and going back and back and back, on other miners and perhaps. But the real difference is the actual dev itself of Drip, Forex Shard. Yeah, kudos to that guy, right? He's a dev of, there's integrity there, right? And that's the key piece that was missing in many other programs out there. They were a little sloppy or whatever. And again, they're human, they're devs, but we're very lucky and consider ourselves lucky to be exposed to a protocol like Drip, where again, it's a machine. It just keeps working. It hasn't been exploited. It's solid as heck, and it will continue to run. And so it doesn't stop. So whatever price it's at, the machine is still spitting out that 1% a day. And that's a beautiful thing. The dev, and you, if you really dig deep into the smart contract level, it's solid. It hasn't been touched. It's the same. So we're lucky. Whoever's in Drip now, we're very lucky.
Absolutely. As devs ourselves, it takes time to do things. I'm sick of hearing about Forex this, he's Forex that, he's taking too long and all of this bullshit. Right?
If that's the case for all the people, I challenge them. Whoever complains about it, build it your damn self.
Yeah,
get out there, get some tech.
So you're slagging off Forex for not building fast enough, but then you're not building. But then instead of managing your emotions appropriately. So not only are you not doing anything positive for the ecosystem, you're then trying to drag it down. So you've just become net negative in all respects, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're not going to build, and we saw some DAO community members, they built DDD. They started that thing. They decided, well, and there's Drip 21, and there's the other Drip, the Texas Hold'em, and there's all these community members that are going, all right, well, you know, I'm going to channel my emotions into doing something positive for the ecosystem. So if you're not going to build and you're not going to actively help with the chats or with the wikis or with slide decks or whatever, if you're not going to actively contribute, then just keep your mouth shut and wait till the middle of next year. And then let's have this conversation again and see how well your comment has aged.
You know, Lucky, I saw you do this, right?
That was to you.
But it's I know it was to me.
No, it's important.
You know, I'm not going to go into details. Just hear me out on this. On last week's show, we dropped an alpha and it was unplanned, right? We dropped an alpha. It was unplanned.
What was it? I missed it.
Yeah, we did an alpha. You can go back and watch the other stream.
You're intriguing us.
It's exciting. What excites me is there's other developments happening right now for Drip itself.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen that in many other projects where they're taking an ROI-based DApp token and they're building on top of it. And that's what I love. I love to see that. And yes, I know.
Without going into detail, the detail.
We're going to go back and watch and find out for ourselves.
Yeah, we got to do this now since you guys told us there's something absolutely alpha amazing. But look at this,
It was just a general conversation. We dropped a bombshell last week, which was was not intended. It was just one of those things. Is we were just excited, like, you know, we want to help the community, and that's the reality. So we dropped the bombshell. I will not go into the details of it, but what I'm saying is that since we did that, my inbox has just gone freaking insane, right? Absolutely insane, and you know. We understand on the developer side of things take time. They really do take time. When you're coding, and Lucky says this all the time, you know, when you code, it's like if and then what else? If and else. So if you do this, what else is going to happen? And that just opens up a whole can of worms. So, you know, we've had people like coming to us in the past week. Oh, when's it launching? When are you doing this? When's it launching? You know, and
but you've also had haters too. And
we're also going to have haters, right?
Because we're going to prove them wrong. And no, they don't like being proven wrong. Somebody once told me, look for the builders in a bear market. Look for the builders, the ones that are still building in a bear market. And that's what Forex is doing. And Fuzzy Crypto in the chat said, plus Forex made Drip without taking a dev fee. How many protocols? I've been in over 60 protocols in the last 2 years. What protocol can you name where the dev hasn't taken and no dev fee whatsoever? How many can you name?
Yeah,
I can
absolutely. So this is the last I'm going to mention it until it launches. I'm not going to go into the detail, but basically what we have is actually using Drip. It's not creating a whole new token. It's using Drip itself, and it's going to be contributing back also to Reservoir, and there's a burn feature, etc., etc. You guys can go back and check on the last video because we've had Drip Millions talking about it. We've had Big Wig talking about it. We've had Drip Prodigy talking about it on their streams, and I'm like, oh, okay, we got to slow it down. Yeah. So basically, look, we're not putting any hard dates on it. There's a lot of effort and time, finances, etc., that goes into building something. Okay, what we are building though is something that's helping by using the Drip token. It's another use case for the Drip token.
Right.
So yeah. So there you go. I know Lucky's gonna message me later on and go, bro, what the hell?
No, it's good. It's good that you guys are telling us that. I mean, it's great. Yeah. I mean, I'm very I'm amazed. Like there are just so many community projects that are happening that are using drip token, right?
Yes.
It's just so many. Like I think there is maybe a video too by Drip Coach that he specifically talked about all the community projects, and I think he tried to be exhaustive, but I don't even think he was, because of just so many that sometimes we don't even hear. But I know some. I'm participating in some. Maybe helping out people just spread the message. And like I would say that I know that Big Beauty is also on Golden Lead Estates, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So I know like Golden Lead Estates, and then BBB. I don't know if you guys heard the integration of crypto and real estate, brick by brick crypto.
Absolutely.
The big one, right? And they have two sites, one in New York and another one in Argentina. So I mean, there are just so many things that are happening, and I mean, there are tons and tons. And of course, the DDD, the idea, my understanding is, for the DDD came from the Barter Town. And then he went and got this guy, Josh, who did some initial coding before,
shout out to Josh. Shout out to Josh.
Shout out to Josh. He's Australian. He has his own upline group, looks after his people. He's such a top-notch guy. Our community is so amazing. Like, yes, there are fudders out there. It's only a small percentage, but Jesus Christ, they're loud, right? They are friggin' loud and they're friggin' annoying. But they are a very, very small subset of an amazing community, like wider community. So everyone needs to keep that in mind. There are people building for Drip that you've never heard of, right? That will come out, and it's all probably going to be like all sort of coming out at the from now to the end of the year, maybe a bit in like early 2024, and we're going to lead into that bull market, like when the Bitcoin halving happens, and after that. And people ask me for price predictions, and I'm like, no, I don't. I can't even. Like, you probably could before, but now that you've got BlackRock coming out asking for an ETF, and Fidelity wanting to buy Grayscale to get their Bitcoin, and now you've started to get all these major players doing complete turnarounds on cryptos used by criminals, and our clients will never want to invest that. To the CEO of BlackRock saying, oh yeah, it's a hedge against inflation, it's digital gold, it's going to do massive things for finance. And I'm just like, I thought I was having a stroke. I was like, what is this like?
Yes.
Just complete turnarounds, flying under the radar, and suddenly they pop up and they want the ETF approved. I'm just like, it's a whole new ball game. Look what happened to gold when ETFs started using gold. Go have a look at that, and then go buy some Bitcoin, for God's sake. Not financial advice, but sort of financial.
No, never.
No, that's so good. That's so good. I think, I really like how, it's always good to have Irene's perspective, because remember, she's in the industry.
Absolutely.
She's in the blockchain industry. She knows this stuff. But I think the macroeconomics just clearly points out that there is a massive adoption that's happening, and smart money is moving into crypto space, and institutional money. So I think retail investors need to be really kind of cognizant of what's going on, because otherwise we might be left behind with all these big institutions trying to snatch Bitcoin here and there. So we kind of need to accumulate now, I think, definitely. And
absolutely,
that's 100%. I really like this perspective,
and it's cool. Again, I was telling, when I was talking to Danny, I was like, dude, we should have some group in Telegram where different devs are coming together. Yeah,
we need to do that.
I saw this one short, and I may mess this up. There was this, I think it's Yiddish, Jewish Yiddish term called Fargan, and it's about celebrating someone else's joy and helping each other. Rather than clashing against each other and fighting your own bags. It's based on supporting each other, and knowing that this dev, we don't know him, he may be brand new, but let's support him. It all affects our bags, right? So let's support that dev and see what he does, and whether, and we could bring our knowledge and experience to help that dev build. Hey, have you looked at this? Or show me the tokenomics. Show me the mechanics. Let's take a look at it, right? And I'll give you my opinion and just help to enhance it even more. And I think there needs to be a group like that with all the different community members and with the devs to kind of communicate. Because I don't know about many other projects that are out there, but you guys may know, right? But I think that's needed right now. Especially, instead of going to different chats talking about price, I think we really need to. It's just building time. So let's build as fast as we can.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we set up that group this week, how many of you guys will jump on? We'll do that. I think it's really important to have like that dev community as well.
Yeah.
And helping each other collaborate, not compete. Collaborate, not compete. That's a really important thing that we have to keep in mind there. So
I'm really jealous of you guys. I wish I could learn how to code. Maybe I don't know how to code, but now I feel like maybe like all of us have to learn how to code and
you can start learning.
Keeping it very high level. It's not technical, but it's just knowing what's happening in the space.
Yeah,
because Drip we're in our own world here. I mean, you're talking about Bitcoin and ETFs and all of that. That's there's so many different levels now. Drip is you can call it underground still. I told my dad asked me how come I don't see Drip in the news, and I said when you hear it in the news, it's too late, right? This is we're actually in we're you could label it as underground, but it's such an exciting community, exciting space, and
is as well. Only like 5% of the world's population is in crypto.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Right.
We are so early. People don't get it.
Absolutely. And people say, oh, it's 2023. It's too late. And I said, no, it's only 2023. You know what I'm saying? We're so early.
Yeah.
And I always see when people say that Bitcoin is a scam, crypto is a scam, that's when I get excited about it. Because it's that early.
Gosh.
We're still early.
Now that BlackRock has come out and said what they've come out, and if you don't know who BlackRock is or how many pies they have their fingers in, largest global asset manager, go look them up. But when BlackRock comes out and says we want a Bitcoin ETF because we want to expose the highest net wealth individuals in the globe so that they can buy Bitcoin, if that is not enough for you, then you cannot be saved. You cannot be saved.
Absolutely.
That's the door opening and going, Bitcoin has now been legitimized, and as a consequence, so has crypto.
It is absolutely. It is. I think traditional banking system like they're catching up on it. I was talking to a banker a couple of weeks ago, and I was trying to actually discuss possibly taking a mortgage on a property, and she was like, okay, so like what your assets, like they look at your assets, and like I put down some in crypto, and she was like, yeah, but crypto is kind of down right now. Maybe you don't want to sell it right now. Maybe you want to hold on to it for, maybe don't sell. And I'm like, this is a traditional banker that doesn't, very far removed, but
that's funny.
So I think that's kind of, they're catching up on it. They're catching on it.
Yeah, it's funny you're talking about bankers, because actually in our Drip team, I think we have 4 bank managers of big banks within the Alakazul team. So and that's Australia, Germany, Italy, and the other one I think is in the UK. So they're bank managers.
When the banks stopped us from being able to onboard fiat into crypto, that's when they knew crypto was going to be something. They already knew, because once they cut that off, it's their attempt to stop the bleed.
Yeah.
I like to say that crypto is almost like the internet in the 80s. Like when people thought of email, they're like, nobody's ever going to use that email. Look at us now. Look, using email as text. You know what I mean? Like that's where crypto is now. So
it's here to stay.
10 years. Where will it be? This year is the 15th year of Bitcoin being around. So you think people have heard Bitcoin for 15 years now. And so people think, oh, it's still going away. I'm like, no, dude, it's not going anywhere. It's just getting started. Come on, guys. Get on the Bitcoin chain.
And some of us lived through the internet coming, right? And we missed that opportunity. And we're not going to miss this one. But I mean, even even earlier than the internet, there was like, I can't remember, the CEO of a computer company said, no one will ever need a computer in their house, right?
Yes.
And that was right. That was only like 5 years before computers started like becoming smaller and like, why would anyone ever need a computer in their house? So we've got a history as human beings of doubting technological change, and I mean, Crypto Professor Girl will be able to speak on this, but it stems from a fear of change. And the best thing to do when you fear change is deny it and say, oh, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen, right? And then it happens, and then you're way behind the 8 ball. So you can either deny it or you can move with the times. But we have plenty of precedents for emerging tech that has become mainstay in civilization. So if you don't believe in crypto, you have no excuse, because you have plenty examples of emerging tech in history where people have said it's dead, it's dying, it's a fad, it's going to die again. And Bitcoin has died about 17 times now, I think, in its life. So, and it's not dead. It's going to come a time where if you go, oh, I didn't know, I didn't realize, it's not going to wash anymore. Like,
Yeah. We are creatures as humans, right? We are, I think, creatures of habit. So if you just think like how much of our life is kind of based on habit and sort of like almost implicit automatic skills that we acquire, like we just keep like running around our schema like in circles, like it's embedded in us. Like we are very lazy. I think we are like a species, like we are cognitive misers, and we kind of live on autopilot. A really big, actually there is research backing it up. So I mean, definitely I think accepting that change, like it takes courage, and it takes education, and it takes time, and it takes cognitive resources. So that's, I think, then up to each individual investor, right, to invest these cognitive resources, to invest time. And some people are just not willing to do it.
Yeah. And I think, everyone involved, whether you're up and down on your crypto portfolio, whether you've been scammed, hacked, whatever, if you are involved in crypto today, you are part of 5% of the world's population. You are a pioneer, and you are courageous. And courageous pioneers do not whine in the chats about price action. So just remind yourself, you're a tiger, you're a lion, you're courageous. Don't focus day to day on price action. I just saw Milligan say BlackRock ETF opens up BTC to $30 trillion of wealth if approved. Just go back and look at gold when gold ETFs opened up, and that'll tell you everything you need to know. But that is correct. And you're going to start seeing countries invest some of their funds in crypto. And even if countries only invest 5 to 10% of their holding in crypto, that amounts to something very, very substantial. And that's not a big percentage when you're talking about like diversifying what you're investing your capital in. So it's just, we are so early. So very early.
Totally early. I mean, you look at places like El Salvador and places like that. I mean, hey, literally, you can Google El Salvador and it'll show you their currency is USD as well as Bitcoin.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Now that's a country. We're just little ants and little specks of dust in this whole space. Right.
Yeah.
But when countries are adopting it, that's just freaking amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Countries.
And they know a hell of a lot more than what we do.
Yeah. Countries, governments, BlackRock. BlackRock has more at its disposal than all the countries put together, and governments and other businesses, right? So they trump everyone. So, but like, I'm sorry, when you see a country getting involved, if you think your opinion is that Bitcoin's going to die, where does your ego come from? How do I get an ego like that? To think my opinion's more important than a country or BlackRock, like, seriously.
That's right. Absolutely. Hey, I just want to say again, I feel totally honored and blessed to have you on here. I'm not cutting it yet. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, I'm just butting in and saying, I am so blessed to have you on here, you know, and I hope this isn't the last time, which I'm pretty sure it's not going to be. All right. I'm sure we'll have you back here again. But all of you wonderful women that are on this stream with us today, my heart goes out to you, like freaking amazing. Absolutely amazing. You know, I'm not a techie guy. I understand code. I come up with ideas. The coding guy is my boy Lucky there, right? He does all of that. But you know, someone like CPG, you mentioned earlier, you wish you could code and things like that.
Yes.
You know what? You don't need to. You don't need to. You understand how things work. You don't have to be a coder to be involved in these projects. And you know,
it's all based on business rules and how you want to. I mean, code is just you know, again, it's based on your business rules. What do you think should happen if I add this, if I click this button, what will happen, and how does it affect, you know,
to be involved in like the wireframe of how things work in a wireframe. You don't have to know code to be able to contribute towards wireframe.
Yeah.
Right.
But you don't even need to contribute like that. We all bring our own special skills. Like you will be able to contribute in a way that no one else can. And if you want to, because I get frustrated too, because I was slated to be a developer and I went a different way. And I often get frustrated around not being able to build. But what you do is you find a builder and you sidle up to them and you help them. You be the one that kicks me in the ass. You be the one that writes the documentation for them, right? So, because my brother's a dev, and so I came into the other business, the software business, not as a dev, but as all the periphery, because devs need people that are different to them, that have different skill sets, so that you can all come together and build.
No man or woman is an island.
Yeah, that's 200%.
A lot of supporting roles people don't realize that, you know, devs need too. It's just not just deving. Like they need organization, right? They need us.
Absolutely.
And crypto,
that's our daily frustration. Right? Lucky and I, we do this every day. So
crypto is a solo sport. It's a solo sport in that you are in control of your money, but it is not a solo sport. It is a community initiative. Surround yourself with good people. Understand your value in crypto. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses. Understand what your value is, and if you want to contribute, then align it with like your unique skill set, because it's all needed. Even a kind word to someone who's struggling, even like, you know, helping someone who can't connect their MetaMask up to the new Drip UI, and you spend 3 hours helping them, and they finally get it connected. That is the value that we all bring.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, thank you.
I totally agree. You know, when I say crypto is a solo sport, that comes on the DeFi, your portfolio side. No one controls your money. No one can control your hand clicking that mouse button, right? It's really up to you. So you gotta. It is a solo sport, so you gotta learn what you need to learn in order to make the right decisions. Again, it's not financial advice. You know, there's no. Just try to connect with the right people, like this here, to help you make those right decisions. You're the one clicking that button. But crypto as a whole, absolutely, it's a community driven.
I agree. That is the solo aspect of it, because like Wonder Woman was saying before, we're very much in this mentality where we feel like we should be able to just drop our money somewhere and someone else controls it for us and makes those decisions. And I'm like, well, how are you doing? Where to get you today? Like, you know, how's your money doing? So it's obviously not working. So you need to now take ownership over your own assets and your own dollars and decide where to put them. And that means you need to educate yourself, because
totally.
You know,
I brought this up on our last stream as well, or the last couple of streams as well. It's like, okay, let's say, for example, because we have a lot of people that just come into the space and then they're the ones that'll go, oh, what's happening with the price, et cetera, because they haven't taken the time to educate themselves. Now, let's say, for example, you're in a job and then your manager comes over to you and says, you know what, in a month's time, you're going to be paid in crypto, and you have no choice. Whether it's crypto, whether it's in apples, potatoes, or whatever, if they come to you and say, in a month's time, you are going to be paid in this, are you just going to shrug your shoulders and go, okay, no worries? Or are you going to put yourself in a position where you're going to actually educate yourself on what benefit, what pros and cons there are for you? Okay. Anyone that comes into the space, if you go and invest into something, you've got to take the time to understand it. You've got to take the time to know about MetaMask. You've got to know about, how things work, how you're going to stake, how you're going to claim, how you're going to do all of this. You don't just go back to your team leader all the time and say, hey, how do I do this? And you just repeatedly do it over and over and over again. You're asking the same question. And no offense to anybody out there, but the reality is, if you're going to take that step and you're going to start investing in the crypto space, you damn well better start educating yourself.
Yeah,
right?
and there's enough resources out there to do that. There's plenty of resources. Like when people ask me questions, I'm like, oh, have you watched this YouTube video? Have you done this? Have you looked up this? Or like, have you Googled it? Have you chat GPT'd it? Like there's so many, like I grew up only having the Encyclopedia Britannica and the local library.
You know what? Now you mentioned that, Encyclopedia Britannica, here's a bit of something you're going to learn about me. The Encyclopedia Britannica has a micropedia and a macropedia.
Yes.
Okay. And when I was growing up, I grew up in very, very strict environment. Put it that way. Monday to Friday, I wasn't allowed to watch TV. Okay. I got home from school and I had to do my homework. I could only choose, like I was involved in lots of sports, but I had to choose one. So I chose my martial arts. I was doing soccer as well. But anytime outside of that, before we started dinner, we had dinner, I had to read the Encyclopedia Britannica. And I've read the whole micropedia.
Wow.
Of the Encyclopedia Britannica. And that was like over so many years, right? Yeah. And I'm not saying that to put tickets on myself, but you know what? There's certain times where someone will ask me something, just general knowledge, and I'm like, boom.
Yeah.
It's there, right? Without having to think about it, because it was just so ingrained in me. And then I had to do that every single day. Right? Monday to Friday at least.
Downstairs. I've got our set from when I was a child downstairs. My mom but the point is the expanses of resources that are available if you want to self-educate yourself are incredible, and that leads to some issues around source credibility and making sure that you're like reading the right resources and stuff like that. But you really need to make an attempt to educate yourself, and then there'll be other people around you that will be able to give you a hand as well.
Yeah, totally. Just this is a friend of ours, Chris. He's in Australia. He's also on Team Alaktrician. Shout out to you, Chris. Was there TV at that time? Yeah, it was. But I was only allowed to watch it on the weekends.
There was only 2 channels. There was ABC and one free air channel. Yeah, I know.
I remember Irene. I remember watching, and there was countdown, and there was a thing that, what will we be singing in the 80s?
Yeah.
That was like crazy.
Good times.
We should do crypto karaoke next time. Just saying.
Ooh.
Yeah, we should. We should.
We just come dressed up as the 80s. That would be amazing. Like I'm all
ready to costume party.
Ready to go. So
that's awesome. Hey, actually, we should do that. We should have like an 80s party on the Alaktrician show sometime in the very near future.
I'm ready. I've got my outfit.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Hey, Wonder Woman, I know that you're going to have to drop off shortly. And please feel free to do
3 hours, friends. Like, I didn't realize this was going to be this long.
I don't think any of us did.
This is the Alaktrician show. It just goes and goes. As I said earlier.
Show. I didn't realize, though. Okay, I thought there was a time limit, but next time I know to ask. But yeah, so I got to go here soon. I got a son, you know, he needs to get to bed and stuff like that. But I do want to mention that me and Crypto Knight, if you guys know him, Drip to Wealth, do have a YouTube channel that's going to be coming out next week. We're going to premiere it. I'll be on his Twitter Spaces next Wednesday talking about, you know, my journey, and he'll be talking about his and how we came together on this project we've been working on for a few months. And it's going to be about education, and that's really what we want to do, since we both have similar backgrounds in finance and crypto and education and stuff like that. We want to, like, you know, educate these people coming in to Drip the first time who don't know anything about crypto or finance or anything at all, it seems. So we're going to add to all your guys' lovely work. And, you know, let's get these people educated up in here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We will be subscribing.
Subscribe. Hopefully you guys subscribe, like, watch a show or two.
Yeah, Danny, you're going to put all the channels, the links to everybody's.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, I already asked the ladies beforehand. I asked the ladies beforehand, and they're not quite ready for it. So, but on the next streams, we'll definitely put it out there.
Definitely give out the links. We got everything set up. We just haven't announced it yet.
And when you do launch it, once you do launch it, come back on the stream and give it a big plug. Shill it.
Of course. Sure will.
You know,
I'm not a shill, but I'll try. I'm going to try to shill. This is my
for sure. Let us know what you need too. Right?
Okay. I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll help you out whatever way. Hey, just on that, guys, I've just started back on Twitter. Like, I've been with Twitter for a long time, but I never actually used it until recently, after I had my year and a bit break away, and I'm back. So if anyone's out there in Twitter land, please follow me.
Now you got to gather followers again. Funny.
I think we are following you already.
I know you do.
I follow CPG. I'll go find you through her, and then I'll follow you too.
Yes, please follow me. And actually, I'm following you already. Okay. So
maybe I am following you. I don't know. We'll see.
So I don't have a lot of followers on there, but again, I haven't been using it, and in reality, this channel as well, I don't have a lot of subscribers on it, but it's never been about that for me. It's never been about that. This is all just about bringing the community together and giving you all a platform and helping promote you. I've never been one to start this the Alaktrician show was never about Danny coming on here and getting people to sign up under me. It was never about that. Okay. Yeah. I don't even know why I did it really, but it's proven to be pretty good. I mean, we were one of the first people to have Forex Shark on the stream, Kelly as well, Brandon Drip. I helped Brandon do his first live stream as well. Yeah. You know that. CPG.
Like Brandon and Kelly. Again, we're in the spirit of saying thank you to people. Yeah, I mean, they've done some really great things, and since we are appreciating people today, I want to always say that Brandon and Kelly really, really done so much for Drip community. For individual investors too. They never forgot individual investors. They always looked out for the best strategy for their teams. They've done really good with that specifically. I think kudos to them.
Totally. And CPG, I gotta say thank you again. The accolades you give me on Telegram and in etc. I'm so blessed. I'm overwhelmed by it. Are you kidding me? I didn't even know these things myself.
Come on, you're too shy.
I really totally appreciate it. And, again, honored to have you on the stream. I know we've helped, I guess we've been, I wouldn't call it influential, but I know that we've contributed to the growth of quite a few people out in YouTube and in the space. And I'm blessed to be able to say that. I mean, Crypto Kings as well. Crypto Kings was on our stream a couple of weeks back, and he mentioned how we were an influence to him back in the day. I visited Crypto Unlimited 22, and they're like, wow, we're just a little channel. Okay. We have a small subscriber base, but we have a very solid subscriber base. And I think that's what's really important here. And, now the ability to be able to stream from this and stream onto your own platforms, that's beautiful.
This is really cool. Yeah. And thank you, by the way, for mentioning that I didn't even know that it allows that the stream
Yeah.
guard allows you to stream to your channel while you're also. This is really good. So I connected, and now that's what I'm doing. And this is the first time I didn't even know. So thank you, definitely, I appreciate that.
I didn't know until the week before last. The week before last, I found
each
out.
other all the time. That's how it works. You learn, and she learns, and next time I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's
So,
cool.
but you know, I've got. This is all part of the show, right? Blue drinks. All right, Drip Prodigy shot. Yes, you know what? I'm gonna have to do one for you.
Oh, what are we up to? Shot number 4?
That's more than 4.
Maybe I've lost count. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's actually pretty slow, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. What is that? Is it Listerine or? It looks like Listerine.
You know what?
Blue
I actually.
Toronto? What is it?
Yeah, there you go. Lucky's got his. You know,
some special thing mixed up.
It's a secret. It's okay. It's a secret. And I did an image yesterday. I did an image yesterday, and because I know people always ask me, what is it? What is it? Well, it's like KFC has the 11 secret herbs and spices. Well, Danny D also has
secret
a
mix
secret
drink. Okay.
Yeah. And just to give you a little bit of an insight on what Alakazul is. Okay. This is Alakazul.
Oh, wow.
I've got to refill this, but
okay.
It's my own creation. It's my own creation. And I've been working on it since 2018. Okay. It will be released on the global market within the next 8 to 12 months. Wow. Fingers crossed. And when it launches, it's also going to launch with its own ecosystem, cryptocurrency ecosystem. It's going to be with its own NFT game, with its own metaverse. And when it launches out there, it's going to launch simultaneously the physical product as well as the ecosystem. Right. So it's going to be pretty amazing. So you've got a cryptocurrency where the price is supported by a physical beverage product from the outside. That's okay. Cool. So that is
alcohol in it? Is it alcohol?
It is alcohol. It's 80 proof, so 40% alcohol. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. But it's absolutely amazing stuff. I've been working on it since 2018. It's going to get to the point where you'll have an app. You can go to any establishment, whether it be like any establishment that stocks it, so bars, restaurants, hotels, whatever, and you can use an app to pay for it. And as you use the app to pay for it using the Alakazul tokens, what we're doing is actually the establishment now becomes part of the crypto space, right? So those tokens, they can either stake those tokens or they can, cash it out. But the important factor is that they are now part of the crypto space if they weren't beforehand, right? So
are the drippers getting a discount or what? No.
Oh, well,
I'm afraid to ask for the hookup. I'm not afraid.
Well, actually, quite a while ago, we did a big live stream on Christmas 2021. We did a live stream. We gave away thousands of dollars worth of drip, and just to random people. And the way they had to do it is they had to go onto the Drip Network Philippines Telegram group, which we created, and they had to go in there and they had to say Alakazul and put in their address. And then they had the option of actually joining underneath Team Alakazul. Again, it was never intended that was what it was supposed to be. But anyone that did come under Team Alakazul on Drip, those wallets would be whitelisted. So when we do launch Alakazul, they get first preference in regards to the pre-sale.
Wow.
Okay.
So, this is another project supporting Drip.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, it's blue.
It's drip. Liquid. Right, exactly. It's dripping in your mouth. Like,
wow.
And when we had Forex Shark on our stream as well, when he gave away the alpha about his NFT game way back then, we also talked about Alakazul, and we'll probably talk about that in the future as well. But there's going to be levels of it. Obviously, there's going to be a game. We're gonna experiment with ideas of actually using drip to level up your characters within the game and things like that. So it's super, super amazing. It's been in the works since 2018.
Wow. Well, congratulations, guys. I guess so. Crypto Lucky is also on that project, right? It's
absolutely. I wouldn't do this without him.
Congratulations to both of you guys.
Alcohol allergy. Not kidding.
Wow. This is a first project integrating. I mean, I heard like real estate and gambling and drip, but alcohol and drip, you guys on another level.
Yeah, I can drop a little bit more of alpha on it if if you want, right? But I know there's a lot of people out there that also don't drink and etc. But basically what we're looking at, again, without going into too much detail, but it's going to be an ecosystem where there's different levels within it. So in the actual DApp, but also in the NFT game, there's different levels, and the metaverse that's involved in it. There's different levels in the game which correspond with different variations of the Alakazul. So we have like spicy versions, we have standard, we have premium, etc. And then there's different levels of the game. And the ecosystem, which will allow you to do that. So, for example, when we're young and we start going out, there's always that person that tags along, which is a very good friend, but they don't actually have any money to spend to go out and drink with us. Okay, when we're out partying back in the days. So, I look at it in the same light with what we're building. Is that okay? That person usually relies on other friends to treat them, okay, to shout them drinks. So with Alakazul, when it launches, there's going to be an opportunity to get into the game without actually spending any money yet. You can get in for free.
It's almost like a play to earn.
Provided that you have someone that sponsors you. So you have this person that can't drink, but then you have a friend that you go out with that they're not making a lot of money, but they can still afford to treat or shout drinks along the way, and those shouts will be sent down to that person that came in with zero money. But that person that came in with zero money still has to do something, right? They have to be active to be able to move up to the next level. So then you have this person this friend that can afford to shout a few drinks but not a lot of drinks, so they have a certain level within the ecosystem as well. Then you have a friend who's actually a lot more well off, that they can come in and they can actually treat for everybody. And we're going to have happy hour. So there's a time where you can actually airdrop or send people drinks, but within a happy hour. Okay. Maybe 2 hours within a day or something like that. Now, they can level themselves up using NFTs. They can level themselves up to buy bigger houses, bigger cars, better clothes, etc. And the more that they level themselves up with the NFTs, the happy hour extends out, which means it may be 3 or 4 hours. And when they're airdropping or sending tokens down to these other people, what happens is that they get rewards from that as well. So you can have this guy that came in with nothing, then another guy that came in that's able to do a little bit, and then another guy that's able to do a little bit. And then you have like the bus boys, and you have the bar staff, and you have the bar managers, and you have the bar owners and the distributors. And then the actual top level, the upper tier, you actually become a physical shareholder of Alakazul. In the
asset-backed token.
Yeah. It's a backed token. But the thing is that you can't just come in on day one and buy yourself distributorship or ownership. You have to work your way through specific ranks. I mean, it's not necessarily down the bottom, but you're going to have to come in at a certain level, which you have to build yourself up. So branch manager, owner, distributor, etc. So it's an amazing project. I can't give too much more than that, obviously. You're on mute, CPG, but you're on mute, CPG.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying you gave out a lot.
Yeah, but look, I've been doing this since 2018. So no one can actually replicate what I've been doing. All right. Mm-hmm. Or what I've already got in the works. So I will release a little bit out there. And no one has my Alakazul.
Yeah. When about is this going to come out, Danny?
We're looking at 8 to 12 months.
Okay.
It's a drink that's perfect for ladies' night. So
Absolutely.
So you'll have to have us back and ship us all a little sample, right? Can we all get a sample?
Well, for sure.
Ladies' night?
Free sample,
Free sample, right? That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. You know, we've got things that are in the plans. We've got Alakazul Island in the plans, which is like an island with like a beach resort, which is all Alakazul themed. Hotel chains, etc., that are going to be coming into bars, hotels, and everything like that. So it's huge. It's a big project. Obviously, it takes a lot of time and money, and effort, and like brain strain and everything else that comes into it. But when it launches, it's going to be absolutely amazing, and we'd love to have all of you as part of it. You know, I'll keep you updated. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, and people think, man, that's just so unachievable. But you know what? It is achievable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Totally.
I'm excited for you. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I'm excited for everyone that's going to be involved in it. We're going to have Alakazul Island. Can you imagine meeting up on Alakazul Island? Like, you know.
Can I live there tax free? Can I become a citizen?
Right, exactly.
You know what? Actually, Irene, you know what's really crazy about that? In actual fact, where we are right now, and you know, you can buy an island over here for like $1 million pesos. So what's that in dollars?
$20,000.
20,000 bucks.
What?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, you can buy an island for like $20,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
This is
All
really
Virgin
Yeah.
Islands. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
to know.
You can do that, and so we're looking at stuff like that, and then you know, hey, it'll be a party place once a year. Let's just do a big conference and like, you know, have fun.
So it's just an
I
island
can
of
see you
solo
there
cup.
going,
Is that it?
this
Wow.
is interesting.
This is really cool. Now we know what retired drippers do. Now we know.
Exactly. They never stop dripping.
You know, Alakazul. And the thing is, what's really funny, I've had Alakazul out there. I mean, I've been working on it since 2018, but in regards to the space, since 2021, Alakazul's already been out there in telegrams and everything like that, and people are saying Alakazul, but I haven't put anything out yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. You got a lot of publicity already.
What happens when we do?
Yeah.
What
Oh my
happens when we do? And the thing is, I'm out here, I'm doxxed. Okay, anyone can search me. Okay, I'm doxxed, and so that I have to have integrity. I have to produce what I say I produce. Okay, because it's not just about me. This affects my family. You know, everything. So, you know, it's about maintaining integrity and doing the right thing by people. I'm not here to like rug pull anybody.
Oh no.
There's no way. There's no way. I value my family too much.
Yeah, that just makes you a really good person, because a lot of people have doxed Alex Mashinsky as
Yeah.
an example.
There you go. Right.
That
Exactly.
guy got arrested. I don't think he'll ever get what's coming to him, but at least he got arrested.
Yes.
And these people are doxed because usually, like when we teach our community about doxing versus non-doxing, just because someone's doxed, don't think that means they're safe, right? Because these people, they don't care about themselves, they don't care about their families. You know, it's mind blowing to me why you would dox yourself and then rug.
Yeah.
That some people in our community have doxed and rugged twice, and people are still investing with them. And I'm like,
Yes.
are you stupid? Like, someone's past character should play in when you're doing your own research. Have they soft rugged? Have they rugged? Have they resigned from a project? Has a project mysteriously been exploited? Like, these are all the things we teach about.
Absolutely. And you know what, Irene, again, unfortunately, I've got to apologize for everyone. I ran our intro and everything like that. We weren't live yet. My bad. Sorry. Okay. But part of that intro, we also included the FTR movement, that fuck the rug movement. And again, Irene, CPG, B, Wonder Woman, I would love for you guys to be involved in that. We're just involved with it. Okay. We support it because that's what we do. The FTR movement, it's the fuck the rug movement. I know that pisses some people off when I'm swearing, but too bad, it's my show. I don't give a shit.
Oh, here comes the drinks. The drinks are kicking in. Yeah.
Well, the drinks are kicking in, but that's all good. But you know, I would love to get you guys involved in that because it's about protecting so many people. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm gonna play it one more time. I'm gonna do it just with the FTR movement instead of fuck the rug. So I'll do this right now.
This is Resetted.
So there you go. That's the FTR movement. What do you think, Irene? I see you sitting there. That's
a mad song, man. I got that playing in my car at the moment, that slowed down version. It's the best. The reverb it gives out, just shake your heart when you've got it up at high volume. Yeah, look, it's an awesome initiative. We should all be part of it. We should be emulating that sort of every day as well, helping people. What I will say, which is what I said before, is it's not an exact science looking for a rug or a scam or like that, all those sorts of things. So diversification is your friend. Diversify wallets, diversify projects. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Only invest what you're willing to lose. These are all I know people say them ad nauseum and people are like, yeah, whatever. But they will protect you because we will all get rugged. We're probably still going to get rugged. Sometimes really difficult there's no formula that 100% guarantees that something's not going to be a rug. I mean, look at FTX and, you know.
Yeah, totally. So there has to be, there has to be certain criteria met. Yeah. And with the FTR movement, the beautiful thing about the FTR movement, it's community based. So, you know, you have to set certain criteria. But it's a community. It's not just about myself or Lucky or Wonder Woman or Big Beauty or CPG or Irene that's going to say, hey, this is wrong. Okay. It's not up to us. It's a community. It's a community consensus, right, on these things. And we will analyze so many different projects. The community will analyze so many different projects. And there's certain check marks. And you know, it's pretty much guaranteed that not every single project, or actually there's probably not going to be a single project that will have all the check marks. Yeah. Right? That's the reality. Right? That's real. That's real. But then you've got to look at it and go, okay, why doesn't this have a check mark? But the thing is the FTR movement is allowing also the opportunity for the dev to come on board and say, hey, okay, I'm going to explain my situation. Right. This thing here, they're saying this and this and this, but this is my evidence to prove that I'm actually like trying to do the right thing. Okay.
Now, and that's the key word, trying. This is a brutal. I've seen devs soft rug because they've emotionally been destroyed and they've had to step away from the project. And everything is sort of relying on them or a couple of key members, and then it's never the same. So it's not rugs are not just the things that like purposely happen. Sometimes things like a soft rug because of things like that. So that's where diversification and not putting all your eggs in one basket helps. But this is a brutal industry to be building for.
Absolutely. Now that's another factor, and I know Lucky's looking at me. But that's another factor. I won't go into all the details because there's a lot that's involved in the back end of the FTR movement. But from what we understand, there's also a part of the FTR movement which will be like a philanthropic portion of it. So we're going to be able to look at some of these projects and go, okay, it's already been analyzed or scrutinized by the community. Okay, they're not a rug. How can we help them? So the community comes together to help these projects to get back on track.
Yeah, that's great. Right? That's really great because you can be a great dev and you can build a great product, but you're not a business manager. You're not a marketer. You're not a manager, a people manager. There's so much more to just building a product that has to sit around it for that product to achieve. So that's a really great initiative because they will need help around that.
Yeah, absolutely. So does anyone B, I know you're still there. Wonder Woman, I know you're still there.
Yeah, I'm about to leave though.
Your thoughts. Give us your insight. I know we've been talking so much, like we haven't given you a chance to really like.
No, it's okay. You guys are saying so many facts and everything I agree with. So it's just like, I let the ladies talk. I ain't mad at it. So, but yeah, I do gotta go though. So this has been very fun, and I wanted to say thank you so much for my first podcast. I really appreciate it. I hope I get to see you guys soon. I know, right? This is my first one. So I broke the cherry. I'm ready to go. No, I'm
there you go.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. It was so fun. I'll talk to you guys soon, okay?
Yeah, we'd love to have you back again real soon, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Talk soon.
All right, see you, girl.
Bye.
Yeah. It's not easy being an educator. It's frustrating. It's emotionally harrowing. It's like when you're trying to teach people so many things on such a wide spectrum of things that you need to teach these people. It's exhausting. So anyone who's out there with the purpose of educating is doing such good work for crypto in general. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So anyone out there in the chats, if you have any questions, we've been going for 2 hours and 45 minutes. This is like crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Rivaling a Forex AMA here.
Yeah, it is. It's like that. Hey, when we did the AMA with Forex the first time, it was like 4 hours or something. And Brandon
for it.
It was mad. We because like Brandon and I had been trying to tee up with Forex because obviously he's busy, and we were trying to tee up with him for so long, and obviously so many things were happening, and I'd been up since like 5 or 6 in the morning, and it was already like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I was just about to shut off, and then Brandon messaged me. He said, "Bro, it's go time. It's go time." I'm like, "Oh my God, no!" So yeah, I had to get in the shower and stuff like that, and then he didn't come on till like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we streamed for like 4 hours.
FST.
You guys have some amazing stories really from history. Maybe at some point somebody's gonna write this book, The History of DeFi, and maybe I don't know, maybe we'll get a chapter or paragraph, I don't know. And you guys will be for history it will be written that you guys were the first one to have Forex.
Yeah,
you're a big part of it right now too, CPG. So
very excited, and I just see like, I talked about Alakazul earlier, and then I see like a few years in the future, and looking back at this, and this is the Alakazul show, right? And then to go back and look at it where we started, and where it's going to be in the next few years, it's going to be amazing. I am just so pumped for this. So pumped. It's going to be amazing. Again, this is not about me. This is literally not about me. I'm just about bringing everybody together and growing this community and putting the positive vibe into the community. And and it shows. Eric and I were Lucky and I were talking about this the other day. And sorry, I just doxed you again, brother. We just talked about this the other day, and the mention that we're getting in other people's streams, it's like, damn, people are actually listening to what we say.
Yeah,
people are actually stopping and listening.
But you have weight. Like, you do realize that you have weight. So even though you retired and then you came out of retirement, like, people remember you. Like, people remember you for those early things you've done, and they remember that you are one of the first ones to have the Max wallet. So people remember all these things. So I don't think it's just me. You're like, she said that. I'm like, I'm just there, like, stating the obvious fact. Like,
thank you so much. Thank you so much. We kind of like, again, we've been pretty much flying underneath the radar, right? That's what we do. That's what we do. And same with the project. Again, sorry, Lucky, I'm going to mention it one more time. The project that we're doing, we're not going to be putting it out there and, you know, it's a big build up to it or anything like that. No, when it's done, everyone on the stream here, as well as the people from the last stream and the stream before, you're all going to get invited, and we're going to do it. We're going to launch it live when it's done. Okay. Yeah. We're going to go, all right, we're going to do this right now without any other marketing. And when people see it, we're looking for just that organic growth. Okay. Yeah. This is not for paid advertising or anything like that. It's just organic growth. And when people see what we're doing with it, I'm 1,000% confident that people are going to go, wow. Yeah. Okay? Yes, I'm close to the project. But from what other people have been saying with the small tidbits of what they've learned from it, it's going to be amazing. Go, Lucky.
Yeah, no, it's and I think, you know, people who talk about drip and price, again, how do we help the price? It's not, I don't believe it's going to be one solution or one that will take care of everything and bring the price up. I think it's a lot of different utility that is being created by the community that will help drive the price up or at least stabilize, right? It's going to take a lot. We're in competition with a lot of minting going on right now, and people, you know, with max wallets and a lot of whales out there. So it's going to require a lot of different utility, and this is just one, right? I know the name was already out there. It's called Potluck. So people might not even be into that kind of idea, right? People may not like the idea of raffles and whatnot. It's the same thing as DDD, and it's not competing with any other project. It's just another utility. And if people are able to use it and enjoy it, then, you know, use it. If you don't like it, then don't use it. That's fine, right? It's not. We're not here for the fame of it at all. It's just, you know, let's build. That's where I get excited. Right?
Yeah,
I get excited to build stuff.
So for innovation, you guys are all for innovation and integration of technology.
Absolutely. Yeah? How can we disrupt it? How can we make a change? Right? It's not about, you know, hey, we did this or it's nothing. I would much rather be not doxed, but again,
it's too late for that, bro.
Well, it's too late for that, and it's again at the same time with the FTR movement. It's all about like just, you know, we're against rugs, so it doesn't make any sense. It defeats the purpose. You know.
So I'm just throwing that out there for now, just so people see. That's enough. I'm going to stop sharing the screen.
Again, it's just maximizing the drip tax mechanism. Right.
Okay.
So that's all
taxes. So but we'll talk more about that. But ladies and gentlemen out there, it's 2 hours 51 minutes. So if you got any last questions for the beautiful ladies that are on the stream right now, please ask away. I'm not going to do an airdrop this week. Definitely next week, but this week I'm not. Only because we've been going for so long, and
it's going
to take some time. But we've been going for 2 hours and 51 minutes. But when we do go off the stream, B, CPG, Irene, would love for you to just stay on for a few more minutes, because like after the stream, because we want to discuss a couple of things with you. But again, super honored. I feel blessed to have these amazing minds here on the stream, and you know,
Thank you so much.
Irene, you've been around many other projects. You said 40, 50 different projects.
Part of my role is like micro investing in some of these platforms to curate. Right, so I put a few bucks here and there. So but thank you for I have the utmost respect for people who stream. My heart couldn't take it. I can't do it. I'll always do on anyone else's shows, but if you ask me to stream myself, I won't do it. It's not in my wheelhouse. So thank you for continuously streaming and putting people out there and inviting us on. I've had an absolute blast. I will talk about crypto. I could talk for like ages about it. So, and I always love about it. I love it. So thank you for giving me and the other ladies an opportunity to get our voices out there and offer a different perspective. And it's great.
Yeah. like I don't even know what to say. I feel so blessed. It's
shots.
Not enough. You know, to be totally honest, what happens on my Sundays, I do this. My wife knows not to, like, she knows my Sunday is my Sunday. I'm on a live stream, and usually after the live stream, I'll be on Zoom. I'll you know, have meetings, and I'm usually here from like 8 or 9 in the morning until like 9 o'clock at night. It just happens that way. And the beautiful thing about Alakazul is that, yes, it gets you to a point, and then you just stay there. Doesn't matter if you keep drinking, you hit this point and you just stay there, right? You just cruise along. Yeah, it's not one of those ones you just take, and then all of a sudden you're falling asleep at your desk. It's not like that at all. So it's
the slurring stays the same. Slurring doesn't work. It doesn't get worse. It just
am I really slurring? I'm not really slurring. Come on.
You know,
no.
But also, thank you for doing it at a time that suits me as an Australian, because usually when I'm getting up, and no disrespect to CPG, I will get up at 2 a.m. in the morning to participate. But I am forever getting up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to participate in crypto things, because being over in Australia, no one seems to give a shit about us. So they time everything, and so it should be, because we're a smaller population. But thank you for allowing me to sleep in and still be able to take part. You know,
no problem at all.
I'll still come on your streams. I don't care what time it is. I'll wake up.
Thank you so much, Irene. I really, you know, I think I should kind of start doing the women in DeFi again. Seems like there is definitely a demand for it. So I should get back to that. And I just wanted to add again, in the spirit of, we talked a lot about positivity and manifesting, you know, positive mindsets and how dreams become reality. And maybe Danny is, you know, very good example with Alakazul of this manifestation. You know, I do want to say good things about people. So I'm very much appreciative of Wonder Woman and Irene specifically for the notes. Both of them have done really good notes on all the AMAs.
Yes.
So, and I think that all of us are very grateful. I don't think I'm just speaking for myself here. And Irene especially, I think, just brings just so much knowledge on blockchain technology, since she's in this industry, and it's very dear to her heart, and she's very knowledgeable. And, you know, thank you, Irene, for sharing this with all of us here and on Telegram and on other streams. So she's always been great. And thanks to Big Beauty for beautiful music.
Yes.
I didn't even know she was a composer. So this is definitely, we have some musicians here on the stream, right, Danny? I guess I could call you musician as well, right? Yes. So yeah, and definitely thank you to, you know, both Danny and Crypto Lucky for inviting us and, you know, giving us opportunity to you know, bring different perspective here. And thank you to all women in DeFi. Either, you know, of course there were several, I think, that like I see Perlas right now, but I think there was Lady Mania as well, and Ant's girl. Maybe I'm missing somebody and didn't catch, but you know, all women in DeFi that are, you know, many of them are part of the Lots group. So, you know, thank you everybody for coming, and thank you for definitely promoting the message of DeFi and promoting the message of you know, money for the people by the people. So thank you to everybody.
And this isn't the last time, so we got to keep doing this. So let's keep this a regular thing.
You're all welcome to come back. I mean, the door's open for you. We love having you here. B, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
There you go. Any last words from you?
I just want to thank you guys for letting me come on the show. Thank you, Danny, for this opportunity, and also thank you, Crypto Lucky. And it's been absolutely amazing streaming with you ladies. You're wonderful. You add lots of value to the space, and that's amazing. We need more women like you. So that's awesome. And I apologize. It's like 12:30 a.m. where I'm at, so I'm getting tired. So I tend to get more quiet when I'm tired. So that's why I've been a little more quiet. But again, thank you for allowing me this opportunity. It's been awesome, and I'll be sure to be back on the stream at some point.
Thank you so much. I'm actually considering in the very near future. Obviously, we're working on Drip Potluck and we're doing lots of stuff there. So our time is like pretty limited. But I'm looking at in the very near future actually running 2 shows a week. One is on my Sunday mornings now, and then the other one will be in the evenings, which allows us to tap into the European market as well. I know Driptopian wants to come on the stream sometime, but usually when we start, it's like 2 a.m. for them. So it's kind of difficult. And you know, unfortunately our nighttime streams won't allow for Australia, but it will allow for, you know, for other parts of like Asia and the US and Europe region. So looks like we'll probably be looking at doing 2 streams. Also, a big shout out to the Crypto Collective, Dripology, Crypto Tiger, Xander G, all those guys that are in the Crypto Collective. We're looking at also doing probably a midweek stream, which is specifically for the Crypto Collective as well. And that's going to be absolutely awesome as well. So, you know, because obviously the Crypto Collective, we're more about drip, whereas the Alakazul show is actually pretty neutral. In actual fact, like today, look at our stream today. You know, yes, we talked about drip, but this was just crypto talk in general, you know, the mindset. So yeah, so we're looking at doing that. There you go. Thank you once again for everybody that's come onto the stream, in the chats and on the stream itself. Again, B, I understand it's pretty late there, and also CPG. Okay, so if you guys need to drop off, but I would love for you to stay on just for a few minutes as well after we end the stream.
Okay.
That would be absolutely awesome. But everybody else out there in YouTube,
the stream, we have so much more to talk about. Why are you ending the stream?
All right. But, it's amazing. Again, much love to everyone out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I think I'm going to play my outro because we've hit 3 hours, 3 hours and 44 seconds right now. Wow, it's amazing.
It's so much amazing. We'll have part 2. We'll have part 2. Sure.
We will definitely. So yeah, I'm gonna play the outro, ladies and gentlemen out there. No, I can't go without doing this. I have to have one more.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Alakazul. Alakazul. And we are done.
Yeah.
Later.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, everybody. Thank you.